Hello, everybody. Welcome. Great to see you all in here. Hope you folks are doing fantastic.
Oh, hello. Well, I'm pretty sure they're a little bit anxious. They're a little bit nervous.
Yes.
And a little bit wondering. But nevertheless, hello, everybody. And we are glad to see you here. Thank you for coming tonight. This was supposed to be Tech Talk Tuesday. As always, on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. It kind of is in a way. But we decided to dedicate this live stream whole solely to the newest breaking news on YouTube that will affect everyone, each and every one of us, because you guys have bombarded us with questions about your channels, and it is so much easier to talk with you on the live stream, in the chat, than to answer each and every one of your messages, although we do appreciate those.
First off the bat, hats off to a lot of you guys. You know, some people say, oh, there's channels and they don't care about what goes on YouTube and that. Wow, do a lot of you guys care about YouTube? And man, did you guys come in droves about this question?
Oh, yeah.
And I think I'm seeing it more and more, guys, and I just want to take that moment to say that. That gets said sometimes, but I think there is a lot of people that really generally do care about what goes on here and definitely wants to be updated on stuff like that. So, you know what? Hats off to you guys right off the bat. You guys are absolutely awesome, folks. We're going to get into it in just a few minutes, guys. You know how we do that. We never do it right at the beginning because then we have to repeat too much. Don't want to put you guys through it, but it is fantastic to have you all in here. And yes, guys, we got hit with a way too many. So I appreciate your patience. We threw it together. We were planning to cover more down the road. We weren't expecting the video that was uploaded today. But man, did you guys come at us? So we're going to try and give you all of it together. Xenia went like, pardon the expression, balls to the walls and put together a lot of stuff extremely quickly. So I don't know how she pulled it off, but she did. But it's great to have you all in. But if you guys could hit the like button, tweet it out, tell friends, all that good stuff. Once again, it is fantastic to have you all in here. So many great channels, guys. And you know what? We've always said that our channel, we felt that was a meeting place, a hodgepodge for all the different niches to come together under one roof. And once again, it's something that hits everybody. And I'm glad those messages are starting to stick, guys, because that happened a lot more in the past, but I think people are realizing right now, and these ones are no fool, guys. There's lots of things changing on this platform, lots of things. 2019 has been the year of evolution of YouTube, for the better, for worse. That's completely up to everybody's perspective on how they see it. Nonetheless, they are changing, and if we want to be on here, we did agree to be onto it to their terms of service, and we have to abide to it. And this is one today, guys, that we're definitely all gonna have to make sure we're in accordance with. Because remember, right now, YouTube is being brought up the first time over. There's a civil suit going on against the creator and against the platform as well and everything. The tides are changing, and nobody knows how far the accountability is going to go down the road. So it is great to have you in. We will get into it in a few minutes, but in the meantime, if you can hit the like button, tweet it out, and tell friends, that would be awesome.
Definitely. And as always, we will do a little bit of a housekeeping. We will promise you to do it quickly, but we want to let people that maybe are late to the live stream to come in and be able to listen it from the start before they have to rewind it back. So in the meantime, if you can grab your notepads, coffee, run to the bathroom, whatever you have to do, there's going to be tons of information that you might have seen maybe today, but also some extra information that might help us as YouTubers at the end of the show as well. We still can do something about this. Yep. And we're going to tell you what you can do. So stick around. There's going to be lots to talk about. We will try to answer the questions as much as possible. We are in this together. We here are not YouTube. No. We are you guys, and we are trying to deal with this at the same time. Yep. Thank you so much to Life of MC for such a generous donation and support of our channel. Thank you so much. Super sticker, super chat. Before we start our serious topic, thank you so much for the #1 fan, Life of MC. Thank you so much.
That's so awesome. Thank you once again. You are absolutely too kind. It's great to have all you guys in here. All right. Yeah, we'll do one of this. We'll help out, guys, because we're going to get a few minutes going. We're going to help out Corey Ball. Okay, because we do that. Let's help out. We can't get rid of all of our traditions, that's for sure. Let me just get set up here. We're going to watch Corey Ball hit a quick 2K, folks, right before your very eyes. Just give me a second to get it set up here because Social Blades plugin has been horrible lately. It's a drag on computers, so I've just shut it off when we're not doing this. So pardon me while I give it a kick, get it jump started, drag it out of the barn, and get it rolling again. Did it work? Did it work? It did not work. I kid you not, it did not work.
And Inspired John says, serious topic, get your documents for Puša Studios. Oh, believe me, I have them all here in a stack, my documents. Yes.
In droves. Documents up the wazoo, my friend. She has tonight. So yes, most definitely. How you doing, John? Hope all is fantastic. Hope you guys are all doing great. So many great people in your post. Let them know what's going on. Hit the like button, tweet it, tell friends, all the good stuff. We're all in it together. So there we go. And sorry guys, the first one of the night, that's always a little bit to get going.
Link is in the chat already, guys. So let's just start on a positive note before we dive into the seriousness of all this. And help motivate one of our own here, Corey Ball, getting to their 2K. Let's do this. Get some positive juices flowing and adrenaline in a good sense of that. Oh. And the link is in the chat, guys. Corey Ball going to their 2K.
Alrighty, guys, here you go. Let's help out, guys. Let's get them there. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to help out Corey, though. Take a moment, celebrate a fellow creator on his way to 2K, folks. On the way to 2K. Oh, we shouldn't. I had those fireworks up, but they shouldn't even be up yet. My bad, but only less than 10 to go, guys. Remember, folks, it only updates at every rounded 10, folks. So the next time it's going to move is when he hits 2K. So he's less than 10 away for Corey Ball. So everybody who has not grabbed Corey Ball, check him out, grab him up, guys. Make sure to add a video of his to your watch later folder. Go back after the live stream and check him out, guys. Corey Ball, 2,000 like that.
Oh, that was quickly up.
That's the way to do it. Celebration time, guys. Congratulate Corey Ball and hitting 2K. Fantastic stuff. Very well done. Very nice. That's a spicy meatball. That's right, guys. Help out Corey Ball if you don't have them already, guys. If you do, celebrate the chat, guys. Celebrate the chat. Flood the chat with emojis for Corey Ball. Congratulations, Corey Ball, on hitting 2K. Very, very well done. Very nice job. 2,000 for Corey Ball, guys. Congratulate him. Very nice time. Corey Ball has his documents. That's right, John. That's right. Corey Ball now officially has his documents. That's right. It's an inside joke, guys. I'm always joking with Ksenia because they have that term over there. They use it, it's the translation of it, but everything comes down to whenever you do something, you got your documents with you, and I made it sound like just some sort of private eye or like some sort of spy movie, so that's where it's coming from. How close?
Am I not? I thought I am.
Hot Sauce Junkie Tim, it's 20 or less away. 20 or less away. But just know though, guys, once we get talking and stuff like that, that's the only time we don't do it is then if it's in a deep discussion on a topic. Once we get going, most time, and also if we have a guest on, we don't do it while they're talking. That's the only thing. But yes, if you're 20 away or less from the rounded 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, not like a 2.4, 10.3, stuff like that. Just a way to celebrate, guys. Love the chat with emoji, guys. Celebration time for Corey Ball. Fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic, my friend. Congratulations to you. Very well done. Very well done. Onwards and upwards to bigger things. Also, while we're talking, guys, boys, I'm as proud as a peacock right now. I'm like a new dad just coming out of the delivery room.
Yes. Yes.
I said this a couple weeks ago. We finally got a Domino's channel in here, and I love Domino's, but I do not have the patience for it. There's no way in this God's green earth I could do it myself. And then the idea floated, oh, well, maybe we could do one for Pusa Studios. Now, guys, we're going to be putting out the link for this. You've got to go check this out. And ZZ Toppling, I am so proud of this. I am beaming over this. I am so honored that you did this. I think this is just the coolest thing ever. And I just wanted to say thank you so much from the both of us. We've already showed our kids. We're literally just seeing your post. Absolutely beyond proud for it. Thank you so very much.
This is the best thing ever. The best video. We do appreciate each and every one of them, but I can definitely say this is the best thing ever we have seen dedicated to us.
It is, guys. It is. There you go. There's music. I forgot about that.
Music.
There we go. There you go, guys. Now you got to go see the rest. There's a little taste of it. But make sure to go check them out, guys, and check it out.
It is crazy, guys. Wow. Like our kids were they are 13 and 8 and they were so impressed. Oh my God.
That's one of the nicest thing anybody's ever done for us on YouTube. You have no idea. From the bottom of our hearts, if you only knew how touched we were, thank you so very much for that.
Definitely. So check it out, guys. Link is in the chat. We'll definitely add it to our description as well. Thank you so much. And in the meantime, we have Super Sticker Super Chat, Super Sticker Super Chat, Super Sticker Super Chat, her Life of MC, who says, "You are amazing. No, you are." Thank you so much for that Super Sticker Super Chat. So generous, so sweet, and always kind to us. Life of MC, thank you so much. And Patches and Potholes, thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for doing all of this research. Well, thank you so much. We do the homework, so you don't have to.
That's right. And let me tell you guys, Xenia did a lot of work on this one in a very short amount of time, so I give her a big hats off. She was working her tail off on this one.
I remember in my university days.
Yeah, it was a bit like Caroline, that's right.
Last minute and quickly. Well, we have done some research prior to this as we were following along with the process, what was going on. But definitely there were some things that came along just today in the afternoon, as you all guys know. So definitely that was something we dove into head first, so to say. In the meantime, guys, if you can share it out and click that like button, we do appreciate it. Definitely will apply to everyone. So even if the channel is not a kids channel, not kids oriented channel, this is still will be applicable to each and every one creator out there. So please share it out. They will say thank you to you. They will appreciate that you shared this information with them, and we do appreciate that you told them as well, because we are in this together. We need to know it. We need to understand, and that's why we are here, so we can discuss it all together.
If there's ever been one of the reasons why you should audit your channel and go back through and check, this is one of them, guys. I cannot stress it enough. We'll talk a bit more about it in a few minutes, but definitely you're going to be wanting to audit your past content and see that it falls, that you're okay within the guidelines and that. And remember, you're going to want to always side in the air of caution. You're always going to want to err on the side of caution, because gray is always a scary place to be on here. And the YouTube algorithm is always going to favor the conservative side. So you're definitely not going to want to leave anything to chance. That's for sure. Well,
that sounded very political now.
Those my documents said that.
That's the documents,
That's the documents talking, not me.
Hello and welcome to all the new channels joining us here as well. Yes. We are Andrew and Sani at Puša Studios. And during the day we do photography and videography services for businesses and families. But at night we are here 6 times a week talking about YouTube and helping YouTubers to grow together, to be together and succeed on this platform. As we said at the beginning, this was supposed to be Tuesday Tech Talk, as always, every Tuesday, but sometimes YouTube just breaks the news, and we just have to jump on it, because that's the YouTuber's life, isn't it?
That's right, guys. Versatility is key to be on here, guys, when it's all said and done, and we got to be able to roll with the punches when they come in, and those punches have been coming in a lot heavier lately, so we're definitely got to be nimble and willing to check things over at a moment's glance, guys, because remember, some get more warning than others on what they're going to do. We're lucky on this one. They are given a warning, because I think a lot of channels are going to have stuff that they never thought really fell into the category, but it is ticking along very soon. And now today, with the updates onto it, we can start doing that and start protecting ourselves. And that's when the questions came in fast and furious. So hats off to all of you folks once again. Very impressive, guys. It's nice to see people caring so much about being on here. We have
Colorado Martini joining us, one of our friends from long time ago, from the time when we started YouTube. Well, almost in February, 2 years will be. So thank you so much for joining us here. And D-Crack is here as well. Hey. Hello, Thames World. Jessica Monique, welcome here. Inspire John, of course, Get Protection and Puša Studios. And WAWTNY. No, it affects everybody. It will affect them no matter how big or small you are.
Yep.
And we will talk about that in very big detail, definitely, in a couple of minutes.
Remember, guys, it's coming on the heels of an now I'm going to get my abbreviation. I was going to FCC, not FCC. It was an
FTC.
FTC, thank you. Ruling, guys. And they have to comply with it, and they're going above and beyond, going to be pushing this one. They are covering themselves once again 9 ways from Sunday, and that's through us having to pay the price if we don't keep up with it, guys. There's tons of channels out there. They're more than willing to lose some. They do not want what happened again. You know, recently I was just reading an article after the last quarterlies with ABC or Alphabet for they're trying to set, like a lot of economists are recommending that they should separate YouTube as its own entity. Do you know what YouTube they've given it a value at right now, an estimated value? $300 billion for YouTube.
Well, maybe Elon Musk can buy it.
$300 billion, guys. Yes, even let's just hope he doesn't. She thinks he's amazing. I think he's something. Well, anyways, it's all in between, nonetheless.
I think he's interesting. I didn't say he's amazing. He's definitely interesting.
I think you're a fangirl of him.
No, I don't have a crush on him. It's not my type. You're my type. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Oh, listen, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Isn't that heartwarming? That is just beautiful.
We don't change. We don't change. Even when it's the most important topic of the year here.
Sure, everything has changed.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah. I hoped you would.
You look surprised. Wow. What's the occasion? Oh my God, already. Only you would take it there. Oh my God.
See, I see people coming in just now and asking, so what is going on? You never missed a beat because we haven't started yet. As always, we are just a little bit warming up here. Almost as much as I'm worth. Yeah, I found it very...
Almost, my friend.
Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Lucky Beach Slots, thank you so much for that. Super sticker, super chat. Do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
What's the weather like there? We actually got enough snow. Brock, next we got about 10 inches, and they're going to start cleaning the streets tomorrow.
I got my first shovel in today.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I love shoveling.
Isn't that exciting? Isn't that just groundbreaking? Don't you want to just share in all of her excitement and enthusiasm?
No, talking about excitement, Sharni from that Crunch Chick for the first time seen and felt snow yesterday.
Oh.
So if you go over on her Twitter, you're going to see
the
reaction
awesome.
Like a little child.
She is here she's in the States right now, visiting the love of her life that she met here in Pusa Studios live stream. She's from Australia. Ben is from the mid-states. And now they're together in real life. She is here. And it's absolutely awesome. That's one of two couples to meet here. One of two couples already. So you never know what's going to happen in Pusa Studio. You guys are absolutely amazing. You guys are so cute. Hello. Thank you, Lucky Beach. Thank you. Hello. I still haven't had to scrape the ice off my windshield yet. That's coming from Brock next, all the way up in Alaska, folks. I think he's not from there. I think he's just pulling our leg. I think he's from like upstate Washington or something like that. Patricia Gallant, I showed this morning and have been in pain. I shoveled this morning and have been in pain since. I'm so sorry to hear that.
You got to be very careful.
So sorry.
Please take care. Yeah, the proper way of sitting down and pulling up the shovel. You should see how funny it looks. You should do a time lapse of video of me shoveling. That is very funny, I must admit.
There you go. Well,
yeah, because I don't raise it over my shoulder. That's what hurts your back. Okay, now let's get off of the shoveling and all of that. That's not what they came here for.
Hey, we'll talk about you going up and down after. Alrighty, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's do a ground shake.
Please stop shaking the camera. I can't.
I won't shake the camera. I promise. Alrighty, folks. We're going to shake the ground. Did this the other day, and it turns out this really works. It's amazing. So we're going to have some fun with this again. All right, folks. I'm going to pause the music. Here we go. And bring up the echo a little bit. All right, folks, on the count of three, everybody that hasn't hit that like button, we're going to hit it together, guys. We're going to shake the world together, guys. I hope you guys are ready to help us out. So everybody who hasn't hit that like button, I hope you're ready to turn it blue. Let's do it. Let me just make sure I get the number. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hit the ground. Hit the like button, guys. Hit it. Oh, there we go. Up and down. Oh, went up. There we go. That one's starting to shake. Thank you, guys. I'm going to do it, and then she won't do it. Holy crap! You guys really it delayed for a second. Wow! You guys really shook the ground. Thank you so much, guys. Anybody hasn't hit the like button, please do. It really does help it immensely. And if you can tweet it out, that helps so much as well. You guys are absolutely fantastic. We're gonna get into it, guys, in just a second. Last bit of housekeeping, and then we're gonna jump right into it. Get this conversation going. I got to do that roll call, guys. You guys are the stars of the show. Just cannot go without doing this. I want to say a great big welcome to Wilder Scotland in the house, welcome. We got What the Paranormal is here, folks. When T&I is in the house. We got Was Blind here, folks. We got Toy Roan here. We got Todd Short. The Weird Derek US. I see this thing's jumping like popcorn again. The Traveling Shintoist is in the house. We have the Traveling Pisces. We have the Traveling Buddy. We have the Psycho Ducky in the house. We have the official EC YouTube channel. The Fish Sandwich Show is here, folks. The Art of Handmade Dolls and Stuff is here. We have Terrell Champion Studios, folks. We have Tales of the Solstice here. We have Stingray Steve. And Stacy, here we grow again. We got Sky Eats in the house. We got Seven Wonders, welcome. We have Ryan Vexo. We have Roland of Slots. We have Rob's Adventure 713. We got Red in the house. Ralph's Truckins in the house. Honk, honk, Ralph. We got Queen Jenna in the house. We got Peanut Butter 524. That's right. We have Patricia Norwood Hobbies and Reborn. We have Patricia Galan. We have Patreon Pirate. We have Old Guy on a Bike. See popcorn again. Octai Dogan is in the house. Hi, my friend. We have Northern Ohio Railroad Action here, folks. We've got Nick Molnar in the house. We got My Great Finds for You. My Non-Traditional Life is here, folks. That's right. As well as Mud Nuts Review. Mountain View Turning is here. As well as Michigander Man. What's going on, Rob? We have Mia Mina, folks. That's right. We have Married Life Vlogs. We have Lucky Beach Slots is here. We have Loyalty Above Everything. And we have Love Them Sense. We got Lori's RV Life. We got Little Rock Family. We got Life with Liz. We have Life of MC here. And we have Kiwi Cobbler Magnet Fishing. I almost did it right this time. Close. Kimber Kiss is in the house. How you doing, Kim? We have Kim Babies Like Mine here as well. We got Ketchup and Pie ASMR. And we got Jibby Lou and Andy too. We got Jenny 777. We've got Jenny O'Brien in the house as well as JD Night 7. And JCT is here, guys. That's right, JCT. We have Jackson RV Aviations here, and Inspired John is in the house. We got Hot Sauce Junkie Tim, that's right. And we got High Country Fly Life. We got Hard Knock Farms in the house. We got Handpay Jackpots, welcome. We got Grill Sergeant, you're back. I love you barbecue name, man. You guys get the best. Graceful Spirits, Ray, how are you? Great to see you. Ghost Pirate is in the house. Gerald Conger is here, folks. That's right, as well as Funko Illuminati. Ooh, nice to see you. Welcome. From Tracy with Love is in the house. We got Found and Buried, folks, and Fire Scratcher is here. And we have Elf Lord's Journeys. We have LZ Adventures. Eileen Villa, the family is here, guys. That's right. As well as EDB Outdoors. D-Crack is in the house, my friend, as well as David Build Vlogs. We got Daily Life and Nature. We got CW Gaming. We got Corey Ball. We got Corbin Connection Comedy. Colorado Martini. Chris Tentev. We have Chop It Up. And Chili Man is here, guys. That's right. Be safe on the road, my friend. Jerry, Awesome Sunsets Travels is here. Brock Next is here all the way from Alaska, he claims. Barrel Boy Woods is in the house. Hey, Danny is here. And we have Auctions for You. Alex, the Blue Man Reviewer and Gamer. And Adrenaline Ash RC, welcome to you all, guys. It doesn't show all the names, so make sure to say hi to us in the chat. Highlight our names so we can give you a Rockstar welcome as well.
That's right. Say hi if we missed you in the roll call. We appreciate you all being here. We have Professor of Perseverance joining us here as well. And Casey Green. And out and in the country, hello. Sandra D's Adventures is here as well. Out in the country. And JCT is reminding us about selfies. Hashtag Blue Ranch Group. That's right. Join with your selfie on Twitter with hashtag Blue Ranch Group. And you may end up on the live stream and on the community post of the selfie of the day. Slot Jeffy is here as well. FDL Seeker, the Creator Spotlight Show joining us. Well, yes, it was supposed to be Tech Talk Tuesday, but today it is breaking news on YouTube, and we have Life of MC stuck on the button. Thank you so much. Super Sticker Super Chat, Super Sticker Super Chat, Super Sticker Super Chat. Thank you so much to Life of MC. You are so super amazing. amazing. Thank you so much. And we have WAV Thank you so much for the super chat. So generous of you as well. Wow, guys, you are so super amazing and kind. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you.
You guys are absolutely awesome. And just as a little side note, guys, I know I told Xenia this. Tonight, folks, we are going to hit 600,000 views. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank you guys for everything. With live streams, do not have a lot of longevity to them, a lot of evergreen growth. So it honestly is a lot of work. And you guys really make it worth it. So thank you so much to all of you guys. The same with subscribe. I want to say that with views as well. Thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you for all the friends you recommend us to. Thank you for the support you show us. Thank you for being there and the ups and the downs and all that stuff and all the things to come. And really do appreciate it. So just wanted to share that with you guys because it's with the numbers. We're all in it together. And you guys are absolutely awesome. So I just want to say a big thank you for everything you guys do.
Stacey Toppling, you just came in. Yes, we actually did talk about your video and showed a little bit of that as well. If you weren't here at the beginning, we were talking about how excited we were about the video that you made for us. It's unbelievable. It's the best shout out video. I can't even call it shout out video. This is just something from out of this world. Super amazing. Thank you so much. It took him a couple days to set it up.
It's crazy.
It's just crazy, guys. You gotta go and watch it. Link is in the chat. Will be in description as well. Super amazing. Thank you so much. We'll definitely
cool. One of the nicest thing anybody's ever done for us. I'm telling you, we're really, it really warmed our hearts. Thank you so very much for that. We're absolutely
We'll
honored.
definitely will be tweeting it out tomorrow and putting some more spin on that for sure. Thank you so much. This is super crazy.
You did a fantastic job on it.
And we have super sticker super chat from Stacy. Here we grow again. Thank you so much for that super sticker super chat.
You're getting good at hiding these things. You camouflage them now. You used to be able to see it coming a mile away. You got a good poker face going on now.
Yes, I'm trained now.
You learned that in your documents?
Yes.
Oh my God! You look. Wait, open it. You got nail polish. Lipstick. That's not nail polish. Lipstick. There you go.
And no numbers, please. Just a reminder for you, or we'll have to time you out.
Oh, the pleasure's all ours, ZC Toppling. The pleasure is all ours. We're honored.
So impressed, and our kids just loved it. Thank you.
Yep.
Guys, just a last minute for you to click that like button, subscribe to us if you're new, double check if you're still subscribed to us. You know how YouTube sometimes plays games, and click that notification button so you know when we are on live, although we're here almost every day except for Saturdays, but even then sometimes. And share it out. We do appreciate if you do. This will affect everybody, no matter what kind of content you are creating. So please share it out and join us. Seven Wonders, hello. ASMR, Leanne, hello as well, and welcome here to all the new channels.
And guys, just for the side, if you can look down in our merch shelf down below here, you can see what we have to offer, guys, and there is more coming, so keep an eye onto it. Xenia is working on some more stuff as well right now. But there you go, guys. Don't forget about it. There's t-shirts, mugs, everything, guys. My expression? Her shirt. She picked the colors, so there you go. So it was a team effort. There you go.
Yeah, I wish YouTube would slow down with the news so I can actually dedicate more time to the merch shop.
It is, guys, we remember when this used to be such a, oh, here we go, we're going to be busy. Now it just seems like it's a machine gun, not like auto setting. It just doesn't stop.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, speaking of that, we'll have to check and see if we already got limited monetization or not for talking about this. Let's go over and check, because that seems to be quite popular whenever we talk. Yes, Ralph is trying to get me in those leggings again. Thanks, Ralph.
Maybe Ralph should get in those leggings himself. We sport it out and we will tweet it out, you know?
That would be good marketing for the channel. That it definitely would be.
And we have super sticker super chat. Good job for Wall Street Homestead. Thank you so much for Wall Street Homestead. And good job for you too. Thank you so much for that. Super chat. Do appreciate that.
And we have a gold coin, folks. We have a gold
Well,
coin.
that's not surprising.
We have the gold coin. We're only, not even 20 minutes into it.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't like when we talk about YouTube. We get demonetized on the videos so often now that it's not even surprise anymore. But
Unbelievable.
you know what? It's worth it. And you guys are so supportive and so inquisitive in what's going on YouTube. We are here together. And this is what we do on this channel, is to grow together, to motivate each other, and to educate each other on YouTube.
Trip's asking, what is the gold coin? That means we're put into limited monetization because we're dealing with touchy subjects. Basically, anytime you talk about the platform, 9 chances out of 10 you're going to get that. And before anybody runs with it and says, oh, Pusa Studios does it for the money, no, we can do it with the 30 cents. It's got nothing to do with that. It just stops pushing our live stream as much to other people. That's what sucks about it. And it does. Believe me, I knew right away it was kind of plateauing off and there wasn't something right, and that's what drew me over to it. We're used to it by now. It's another day at the ranch. You guys can really help us out by tweeting it out. That would help a lot. That would really help out immensely to combat it. We put in the request for review. That will probably come in after the live stream is over. Sometimes we're lucky halfway through, but by then, you know, when anybody does live streams, you know it's the essence is in the moment of when you go live. So the other day we did our Veterans Day video, which was talking about veterans and wasn't talking about any kind of violence in any shape or form. That was also limited monetization right off the get-go because of the touchy subject. So it's not all perfect on YouTube when it comes to their algorithm. So let's just call it that. I'm not going to gripe too much into that part. And we're lucky to have a lot of great people in here like you guys. And if you can let them know, folks, just hit that like button extra hard. That really does help combat it. And tweeting it out is a great way to get the people in when they won't tell them, guys. The Clover Roll, how you doing? Great to see you. Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Life with Liz, shared out of my community tab. Well, thank you so much for that. It really does help out immensely. Todd, it certainly is. It certainly is. But that's what we work with. What's done. You guys always help us with it. We do appreciate it.
And we have super chat. What the paranormal is here? Thank you so much for the super chat.
And you hurt Ralph's ears.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Ralph. You need earmuffs. That's all I can tell you.
Veterans Day, touchy subject. That's right. Arizona time tourists, and a lot do that. We're covering stuff like that. It happened across. We knew it before we even went on. We knew. Even today when we were figuring out our title for this, we were like, what can we put in here that's not going to trigger it off and give us a fighting chance? But we knew basically what was coming. So that's the sad part of it, guys. It happens all the time. Sorry, guys, I was just excited. Michigan Advantage said nothing wrong with being excited whatsoever. YouTube definitely not making it easier for creators, like the Trip says. I guess I'm screwed all of my live streams too. I found it buried. Said, well, I think there's no time like the present. Do you want to get into it?
Yes, and we're going to try and answer your questions, but let's try and soak the information in first, try to understand it, and then get to the questions. Because if we start answering the questions during the live stream, it's going to get very chaotic because there's tons of information. So write down your questions, and we'll definitely dedicate the time at the end of the live stream for those.
Ralph's truck, he says, Memorial Day I did earlier this year. I got yellow and YouTube would not reverse it. Yeah, they reversed it for us only for 2 hours later to do it again. So we had to do it twice in the same day. And yeah, we get them too. We get them on our wheel sometimes and can't get them reversed. It's not a perfect system, guys. YouTube is not for the faint of heart. Let's just say that.
Thank you so much to D-Crack. Thanks for talking about this. A little stressed. Thank you so much for the super chat. We do appreciate that. And yes, it is a little bit stressful for some more than others, but it will affect everyone.
You gave me the community tab in this live stream. You just got your community Patreon partner, if I understand. Well, isn't YouTube trying to be nice? They gave me the community tab in this live stream.
Well, that is awesome. That
Congrats.
is really awesome.
That is awesome.
And my non-traditional life, yes, in your YouTube studio, now you can check your watch hours in hours and not in minutes. That's right.
That's right.
Okay.
You want to lead off and then we'll jump to the introduction?
Yes. So, well, no time like now getting into this. So let's start with a little bit of introduction of what is going on and why So lots of you guys have probably got either your email or notification on YouTube with the new things that you're supposed to do on your videos and your channel. And lots of people were messaging us what I'm supposed to do here. Well, it is confusing, that's for sure. We're gonna let you know why this is happening if you missed the video where we talked about Adpocalypse a couple months ago when it was first announced. The link about Adpocalypse is down below in the description, as well as I button up there too. So if you missed that, please check it out. We in detail go over what exactly happened there. We will briefly go over there and talk about what exactly is COPPA, what is FTC, and what is going on with those notifications that you all have received today. We'll go over how and what to do. Do you have to do anything, and what happens when you don't do anything? And at the end, we will talk about what we as creators can still do to help us, because we can still affect it. This is the thing that we can still change, and we will talk about that at the end of the live stream as well. So please stick around, and if you can share it out, once again, we do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I'll be monitoring the yellow coin, guys, as a side part in here, so I'll let you know if it does change, but it's going to probably take a while. So yeah, that tweeting out really does help combat it a lot. So thank you for hitting the like button, tweeting it out. It really does make a big difference. It's a shame they won't let us talk about their own platform, so this way at least we can get it out to more people if they're not willing to help us. So thank you very much. Alrighty, guys, so let's see. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what she's at. Okay, guys, I'm going to let Xenia talk a bit more at the beginning because she put together a bit of a presentation for you guys. She worked really hard on this really quickly. This came out today, guys. We've talked about it in the past, but today the updates came out on how you're going to have to categorize and how to do so. The questions came in like rapid fire. I swear to God, Twitter and Discord and that was just starting to pick up like steam. So we just made a conscious decision. Let's just do it as a show tonight. That way we can address a bunch of the questions at the same time while we're in the context of it, and it'll help everybody because it was just too many to actually answer. So hats off to everybody who is watching their channels more and more and more. Stuff like that is so heartwarming to see that people are really caring about what they do on here and what affects them. That. So cheers to you guys for being diligent on that, and we're going to cover it here. So the title tonight, YouTube called it out, guys. Well, yes, and I don't think we're going to go through the whole thing. Do you have a brief description? Because I didn't even get to see the first part of your... probably better you cover it.
That's okay. It's all good. I'm just listening here.
I'm playing a little bit of catch-up, so... In the end, let's start off with Xenia because we'll have something more to eat off after when she's done doing her yummy presentation.
We'll need your commentary.
Yeah.
Your pre-chapter.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we're going to call it. So
we talk about COPPA. What is COPPA? It's Children Online Privacy Protection Rule that it is still in process by FTC. And you might say, well, it's only in states. Well, it will affect everyone, and I will tell you why. But let's start with what exactly was going on and a little brief of what happened, why this is actually going on now. Why do we have to deal with this thing now? So what Google said about YouTube in the previous years, and this is actually from FTC, YouTube have claimed that they are the best advertising place for kids, that majority of kids are mainly watching YouTube now instead of TV. The teenagers prefer to watch YouTube. They actually have admitted that while pitching their marketing campaigns to the biggest sponsors. So they weren't hiding. They were targeting kids. Well, the latest statistics by Kids Screen, they did reports and actually have determined that YouTube is the most popular social media with kids. 83% of kids actually do watch YouTube, and not YouTube Kids.
Yep.
YouTube is 83%, and only 45% are watching YouTube Kids. Now, with that said, we all know that you're only supposed to sign up for the YouTube main platform if you're 13 and over, but kids using those accounts of their parents or signing up with wrong illegitimate ages as well. And actually, a majority of people from 8 to 16-year-olds have YouTube 87%, guys, 87% with illegitimate accounts. 87%. It's mind-boggling. On average, kids watch YouTube around 1 hour and 25 minutes a day, which I think is pretty scarce. I think it's much more than that. But just over half of children always find something to watch on their own, and only 7% of children actually are not finding any content. Parents are actually giving them the search. So that means that majority of kids that are on YouTube, so that 84% of all kids out there are actually looking for content themselves and finding it and screening it themselves. Only 7% of kids have their parents help them. That means that kids themselves are finding, searching, and seeing whatever happens with their search results, whatever videos they are presented with, videos and commercials. YouTube have been estimated to earn over $20 billion by the end of this year, which is a staggering amount, a jump comparing to 2016-17, which was like 9 billion. So it jumped in a couple of years. And why? Because YouTube started the huge campaign of their marketing. AI started to get more and more into more intuitive understanding of their audience. There were more customized advertising, more ads that were based on the analytics, and that led them to triple, quadruple their revenue in 4 years' time. That all is gonna change, because FTC estimates that around 90% of creators are going to lose their revenue after January 1st. 90% of creators are going to lose their revenue after January 1st.
How's that for scary?
Yeah.
How is that for terrifying? Yeah, oh wow, exactly. Oh wow, times 100 onto it. That's something to soak in, guys, at just what kind of an impact they're expecting. This is YouTube stating this. So if they're stating it, how bad is it really? Because most companies, not just picking on them, but just companies in general, always tend to want to kind of cushion. But YouTube has been doing pretty good. Just as a side note, even they later, I find they're getting a little bit better at stopping to try to candy some of this stuff and actually put it out for what it is. I wouldn't say they're giving everything out, but I at least feel they're making a bit more effort to actually embrace that how impactful these changes are making time to time are actually on the creators that are on here. So I don't want to give them a hats off to it, but it's a step in the right direction, I guess.
Most of the things that they are implementing and we might be upset and mad about is actually the consequence of this COPPA FTC ruling. It's not YouTube doing it on their own. It's something that COPPA legislation is requiring them to do. Yep. And as always, we will definitely include some more information resources down below in description after the video is uploaded. There's some there already now, but we will definitely add more as we go through today, so you can come back and get to the original sources of the information as well. Well, now to the actual thing that is going on today. You got that notification that you're supposed to change something on your videos or channel. And what exactly you're supposed to change, why, and how to do it. That's so confusing.
That's where you guys were like, I give you guys credit, man. You guys are on top. We were getting like bombarded, literally, and that's fine. That's fine. But it is very scary. It is why I think these things are so important, and why Xenia and I cover a lot of them, is mostly in the end, it's for everybody, of course. But it's that real fear of everybody caught in a gigantic gray zone in every one of these. And that's who I believe the majority of our channels are. You guys are niched up, but these are like the big niches that we're screwing around that brought on some of this stuff. They're already planning to go on to the next one. They know about it. And the bigger ones that are directly affected about it, they have to really be on top of it. And they're going to make major changes to their channels. Some of them are going to go away. That's just the way it is. But I think our primary concern for the most part especially is the gray areas, because that is what usually happens in most of these. This is where we get most of the channels that message us, I don't know what happened, I just lost my channel, I don't know what happened, I just got a community strike, I don't get where this came from, I don't do this kind of stuff, and how did it? And it's because we fell into that trap. So that's what we're going to start talking about a little bit later on. But right now, about it directly, this affects every channel. That's why I was saying this part. Everybody's going to have to get extremely diligent, not only what they put up from this point on, because we're leading up to it very quickly. Snow is on the ground, guys. Everything is getting ready. It is going to be coming to 2020 before we know it. And already today, they're starting to give the tools for us to start dealing with it. And they didn't do it now because it counts on everything we've done in the past. And there's lots of channels in here that might easily have 2,000-3,000 videos up there. And those are the ones that can go back and hurt you that you never even thought of. So we're going to talk about it, guys. And that's what it's all to start doing, is start preparing yourself and not waiting for the day it comes. So you want to go on to the next one about how to do it?
Yeah, so regardless of your location, YouTube requires to tell you whether or not your videos are made for kids. And if you're wondering, well, I'm not based in States, this doesn't apply to me. By the way, we're in Canada. It applies to everyone. Foreign-based websites and online services must comply with COPPA if they are directed to children in the United States or if they knowingly collect personal information from children in the US. And since YouTube collects the data that is analytics, you know that they do it, you know that they're collecting it. So if you have even 0.001% of your population audience coming from US, you are affected.
Yep. You have to comply.
I'm pretty sure if you are here in this chat, you are affected. You are affected. Foreign-based websites and online services that are involved in commerce in the United States or its territories, and you are, because you're part of YouTube, are compliant to these. So once again, this affects everyone. So what you're supposed to do today? You're supposed to set your channel or video's audience, and that's what YouTube asked you to do today. And you have two options to do it. So one of the options is, let me see. One of the options here is to change the audience level in a channel level. This will change audience. Okay. In the video level, I sort of video.
Not the video one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the options is to change it in a channel level, and you're going to see how we changed it. You'll always be able to come back and actually do it here as well. This is situated in the settings of your channel, advanced settings. And all you have to do is just check for no, set this channel is not made for kids. Obviously, if it's not. If it is kids, then it's yes. But for us, it's no. And this is how you do it. You set your audience level, and it will change audience settings for all existing videos, and it will apply to all future ones by default as well. This ruling applies to all your previous videos and all your future ones. So all your previous videos and all your future ones. So the first thing to do is to go and change it in a channel level, to blanket it all together, so to say. Once again, you can see how to do it. And then in a video level, you can go and change it in each video separately. Each video separately, if you are not sure, or if there are a couple of videos on your channel after changing it on a channel level that you know that you might have to change. You can customize each video separately. We'll always have this option available when uploading video or setting up a live event. Now, this is tricky. Is this video made for kids? They ask you. Yes, it's made for kids. No, it's not made for kids. Now, how would majority of you answer this? It seems quite tricky to me. Obviously, if your channel is not directly targeted at kids, you will say no, it's not made for kids. So majority of you guys here, unless you are directly targeting kids, which we'll cover in a minute as well, you will say no, it's not made for kids. The other part of it, you actually, I don't know why they added it to it, you actually have to mark adult content as well. So you have to say if it is an age-restricted video or not. Now, two things here. If you will mark your video or channel as yes, it's made for kids, you will get some very huge consequences. And if you will mark it as age restricted, your video will not be monetized.
The burden of making choices on here about how your channel goes, guys, is getting heavier and heavier and heavier, is weighing a lot more on you, with a lot more consequences than there used to be. Okay, and this is not the scare tactic. There is, but it's the truth. There is a lot, and it could be as easy as having a community strike, your channel. Monetary losses at some points as well, guys, can happen from it. There is all kinds of ways. YouTube has no choice onto it. It is in where it is. The ruling has been made, and we're gonna have to swim with it. But remember, the days of saying, oh, well, YouTube will just demonetize, that'll be it, and well, who cares? I don't care about it. Well, there's a lot more burden on you to be able to stand up if you do the wrong choice, let's just say. So you better be very careful and start thinking a lot more critically to back up that answer before you hit that button, because it really does suck. There's a lot of consequence you can pay for into it, and it's the price we're going to pay to be on here, guys, because it is not changing. No petition's going to change it. No getting together. No big YouTubers are going to come together and save the day onto it. It is after the FTC ruling, guys, and that's as simple as that. It is where it is, and it's up to us at this point now if we're going to roll with it or not. So continue. I just want to put that out.
Yes, exactly. So now the question is, well, how do I know if my video or channel actually is made for kids? And they use this term, made for kids, because it's hard to understand. Well, I'm not a cartoon. I'm not reviewing toys. Am I still made for kids? Well, YouTube bases its guidelines on FTC requirements, and they actually do set it out what exactly they mean by it, although it does make it a little bit clearer. It's not 100% clear. So let's just go through with it. Okay, I jumped over a little bit. So if you, sorry about that. So if you are setting your channel with made for kids content, you will lose personal advertising, which means that you will lose revenue as well. So if you choose to put your video as made for kids, you will lose personal advertising for that video. What it means that you will get generic advertising and not the one that is customized for your audience. TubeFilter did statistics, an experiment on that, and actually determined that channels who do this lose around 75% of their ad revenue. So if before you earned $10 on it, now you will earn $3 if you change that. Comments are going to be disabled for the videos that are targeted for made for kids. Channel branding watermark that you see in the one of the corners down below in this video is going to be disabled. Donation button is going to be disabled on all super chats. Information cards or end screens are going to be disabled on videos made for kids. Live chat or live chat donations are going to be disabled as well. So even if you do go live, there is not going to be any chat available. Playback in the mini player, you know how you can still browse around YouTube and the little playback window is playing down below? Well, that is going to be disabled as well. Super chat or super stickers are disabled, and you won't be able to save the video to the playlist. You're not going to be able to save that video to the playlist.
It's unbelievable. When you read it out again, some of these things still stick to you. It's unbelievable.
Basically, anything and everything that is about YouTube is gonna be gone for the video that you mark as made for kids. Now, that starts in January. Nevertheless, if you are over 10K and you do have merchandise shelf, as we do have down below, or if you're over 30K or you're a gaming channel, you have channel memberships, those are gonna be gone starting today. So you thought it all is only going effect in January? No, it starts today. So that's just only about videos. Now, if you do mark the whole channel, its whole entirety, as a channel made for kids,
My non-traditional life, such a good point. I like that. I'm amazed liking videos are still not disabled for kids' videos too. I am surprised they didn't get rid of that as well. I really am. I've been wanting to get rid of the dislikes for a long time, but since I've gone all through this, that is a good point. I'm surprised they haven't got rid of that as well.
Well, that all can change, you know.
Exactly. We've been seeing how this has been adding up. I have a feeling it's not over by a long shot. So
Now, starting January, if you mark your whole channel as made for kids, you will also lose not only everything mentioned above, but also your stories are going to be gone. Your community tab in the channel page is going to be gone as well, so you won't be able to communicate with your audience. Notification bells for your videos are not going to be active, so nobody's going to know when you post your next video. And your viewers also won't be able to save to watch later or save to the playlist any of your videos. As well, starting November, all channel memberships and merch shelf won't be available for the channels marketed as kids as well. So if you mark the whole channel, you will have to lose everything that the video loses as a channel on entirety, plus stories, community tab, bell, and playlist watch later option.
in short, guys, they're pushing anything over to the kids side. Anything on here is just lost in the abyss. It's going to be there, and it's just, I hope the ones that were doing it to build a career on YouTube or as a side income, doing all those things, they're pretty much so shot in the foot there's no existence. In one way, if it was, okay, I'm going to jump into one little part of my rant. There'll be a couple coming tonight. If this was to say, you know what, okay, we're putting our foot down, we do not want, it's supposed to be older anyways on here, 13 and up, etc. Now, you know, between the 13 and 18 is still a gray area, as many are. And that was to say, we want to push all this, we're doing it for a reason, to put them on the kids' side of it, and they won't be on here anymore. They'll have their own side where they're taken care of, and there'll be incentives for being there, where they belong. That I would have no problem with, because that would open up YouTube more back to the way it should be. But unfortunately, that's not quite the case, because all of us are having a big chance of falling into this whole disaster hole as well. If it, like I say, so if it would open up the playing field back then to the channels that don't do that kind of stuff, and those channels had a proper place to do their content and be seen over there and well taken care of, and with enticement to keep creating more content for children in a proper fashion, I'm fine with that. And then if somebody, God forbid, comes on here that's over 13, sees something that's not even as bad as you'd see on HBO, and their head doesn't explode from watching it, well, all the better for everybody. It's a happier world after all. But unfortunately, all of us are going to get hindered once again with this so badly, and we're going to have to be so careful because of all the consequences that come with this. It is just sanitizing everything to the extreme that's done on here. Truly, honestly, I usually don't jump in this bandwagon, but I do think it's taken out some of the soul of YouTube. I really do. I really, truly believe it. It is going to be more if it keeps going the way it's going to go, and at some point, somewhere down the road, it is going to be more sanitized on here than it ever was on any of the major networks. And unless we want to watch 150 million channels all looking like Full House, God help us all. But it's going to take anybody that has any kind of skin in the game about their channel is going to be very terrified to make a lot of changes on here. Now, that said, there is still room to do lots of things on here. We're not going to jump the gun that quickly onto it. It's the problem is it puts a fear of God into creators to take those kind of chances. And keeps edging them back, pushing them back, pushing them back, pushing them back, because the consequences are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you take this tonight, and you take everything else we've talked about just in the last 3 months. That gray area is just starting to kind of smother us. That none of us know exactly when we've crossed the line. Because a lot of the other stuff is, I mean, for the most part, it sounds very cut and dry. Okay, I don't do this, I don't do this, I don't do this. I'm good. But are you good? Are you really good when it's said and done? Or is your channel just one video away from falling into the abyss on YouTube? That is the problem with it. You know, I'm going to bring up an example, because we always talk about the gray area. Are you okay for a few minutes with that?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. What happens if, let's paint a scenario. 4 couples get together, say, we're going to have a live stream together, we're going to do a panel. You know what? We haven't gotten together in 3 months. Let's have some fun up there tonight. What's your favorite drinks? I'm going to have some coolers. What are you bringing? Oh, I got our bottle of scotch we're going to share and all that stuff. They're not going to get up there puking drunk. They're going to get up and laugh for 2-3 hours, have fun with each other. And then they're all talking, the couples and the wives, like, oh, I got an idea. Let's all dress up. Let's make it like a slumber party. Let's have some fun with it. Oh, I can't wait. I have my, the doll that my mother gave me, and I'm going to bring this up. And, we'll make it like a slumber party. We'll just have some fun with it, a few drinks, everybody will get a kick out of it. It's just lighthearted fun. Is it? Or is that now counted as gearing towards children because you started adding all these kids' elements into it? Did you just put your channel on the line of fire to get hit? Who knows? You could sit there and say, well, I'm having the alcohol and that. Everybody should know that kids aren't supposed to drink, so it's definitely geared towards adult. But is it? Or does the algorithm look at it and say, well, there's, the mention that they were talking about different toys and stuff like that, and they were doing adult actions while they were having it, so no, off. This is the kind of traps that come into it. What about somebody who starts playing, and remember, guys, it's not how we feel. I see some bizarre stuff on here, and not all of it is to sickening levels. Some people just have a very different sense of humor than I do, maybe go a lot further. Playing with puppets and making them do all kinds of stuff, with a bit of adult humor into it and doing all kinds of things. Does that count as adult humor? Well, yeah, look at the jokes. No kid would ever get what I'm talking about. But does the algorithm see it that way? Did you maybe put too much into the set? Should you have maybe just left it with the puppets? You would have been okay. But since you decorated around and made a cardboard castle and did all these cutouts and stuff like that, have you ventured in too far now? Is that going to be a problem? Could that trip it off? There are millions and millions of scenarios I can bring up here that we could all make up here together tonight and think about it. And lots of channels go back and forth in how much they dive into. Some just get on and just pretend to be kids. I mean, there's some that pretend to be furry. There's all kinds of things. What's to say that doesn't trip it? What if somebody's doing a mukbang and they're at an ice cream shop? And there's all kinds of beautiful ice creams in there. They put on a bit of carousel music, royalty free. They don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. They're following all the guidelines. They're covering all their bases. It's harmless. She's just sitting there eating some colorful ice cream in a very bright lit ice cream parlor with a little bit of music over it. There's no harm. That's not geared towards kids. People eat ice cream. But what if with the new rules that came out about unhealthy eating practices and stuff like that falls into there? Or what happens if they consider that uneating healthy practice also geared towards kids is bad? There's gray areas. All those gray areas all start to interlock. And the more gray they get, the less wiggle room you're getting out of everything, and the less you know where you stand on here. You're basically like in a forest without a compass at that point. Because what is too far? Who deems it's too far? And like last night when we talked about Markiplier and everything that happened, and so one or two, it was very good. One or two people thought that we were actually mad at Markiplier. I love his heart. I love that he stood up for his community and that. I think the world. But that said, he was able to stand up. He was able to get some notice into it. What happens when our channels get taken down? Who's going to help? First of all, none of us have any contract with YouTube, so we have no reason for them to go out of their way or to even acknowledge it if they choose to do so. So you might even be in the right, but still taken down for no reason just because of a network of an algorithm glitch. Because there's so many gray areas running from all these different new policies coming in, the algorithm doesn't know its way either. It's just kind of pulling at straws. And if you can't do it, if you can't do it, it's just your channel's gone for it. So that's the issue with it. Hey, the Harmony Hour YouTube creators did an instructional video on it. Everyone should watch it. Most definitely. We are going to reference that one as well as also too, though, this is also a big talk that doesn't get involved in a lot, is also all the gray areas into it, and about how we got to start thinking more about how we're creating content on here and the vision to see where it really goes. Because even with that video today, it still left a lot as pretty much making you feel, well, if I don't do children content, I'm kind of out of the woods. And that's a very dangerous line of thought. That's the part, actually, I was going to bring up that video, so I'm glad you brought it up, that I did not like about it. I feel it brought a little bit of false security at the end of saying, well, if you don't do kind of this, and they said themselves, they did say, they can't give you a rule. I give them credit on that one. I just wish they would have spent a little bit more time saying about how wide the gap can be, how possible it is, how much you really have to scrutinize into it. So, because this is what happens, and that's what a lot of the people that come in here that have had their channel taken down, community strikes and that, a lot of the people weren't direct violators. Yes, there was some. I mean, they put up copyright music, they did what they did, they should have known, yes. But a lot of people come in here, it's usually the other thing, and they're literally, if you could see them, they're probably like this. I don't know what I did. I don't know what happened. I'm not that kind of a channel. I don't kind of do that thing. But it doesn't stop us from getting hit. And that's why we wanted to really cover this tonight, because it is really important that everybody takes these things seriously when they're coming out from YouTube. And don't just brush them off as, I don't do that stuff. I'm not a kids channel. I don't even like kids. Can't stand them. They don't like me, don't watch. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. You have to be so careful. What about train channels, that might have some kids coming in to watch some train stuff like that. So there's just all these little loopholes, and we could paint scenarios till the end of time. So if your channel doesn't do it, of course you're not going to tick your channel off as that. But the whole point of the thing is to really watch each individual video and make sure before it goes up that you are 100% sure to the most absolute possibility that it is not geared towards kids. And don't just brush it off as like I just said, like, no kid's gonna watch that. Look at it from the viewer, look at it from the eyes of these rules coming out. And all the other rules that's been out lately on that, and all that gray hair's caught. Just look at it through and give yourself an honest opinion, just so you don't put your channel in trouble over it. That's why. Because it's a lot of consequence over something sometimes that can happen so innocently. And that's sad to watch, guys. That's really, really sad to watch when that happens. What about, like, there's a channel I used to watch, I haven't seen in a long time, Funko Pops. Everybody loves Funko Pops. Lots of adults collect them. I think adults are more into Funko Pops than kids, it seems like.
Yeah.
But I've also seen them, they sit back and they have a drink. Disney channels, I know. They talk about Disney. They've been into it for years. They take their kids, they do all that stuff. They have a drink of scotch every Friday night or so on a live stream talking about it. If they're good live streams, they're good people, they're doing a lot of things. What happens there if the algorithm decides all of a sudden, well, they're talking about Disney, but they're having that drink? Kids, geared towards kids, alcohol onto it, bango, hit the channel. Because the algorithm is always going to play on the conservative side, guys. That's one thing about it. If you're in the gray, pull yourself out of the gray, because it's not known to be very forgiving. So I hope you guys are really taking that part away from that. And the more we keep telling these things, the more I keep stressing that. Do not think that the algorithm has a conscience. Don't think it's going to sit down and ponder your scenario for hours. It is always going to side on the more conservative side of it for the sake of the channel, of the platform. That's what it's there to protect when it's said and done, is the platform's interests, which happen to be in this case gearing towards kids, which was forced by an FTC ruling with huge fines and all that. So this is not up for debate. This is not up for discussion. Philosophizing if it should be there or not is not even worth it, guys. It's not that our opinions don't matter on that part. It's a done deal. They have no say into this. It is done, it is finished, it's agreed to, and they're rolling with it. The only thing is how we keep ourselves from getting caught in that roller is the big question. So I've been running off.
I'm trying to answer the questions here in the chat as much as I possibly can. So one thing that I see a lot in common is, so there are two things that are offered for you that you have to and must do. Now, again, everybody must do these changes. No matter if your channel is or not about YouTube, you must do these setting changes. Like, all channels, all millions of channels have to do this, okay? So that's one thing. Another thing, so if you are a general channel, okay, you're not directly targeting kids, then answer no, not made for kids on your channel settings. And start with your channel settings, because it's going to blanket everybody. Answer no, not made for kids. Now, with regards to age restricted, it might be not made for kids, but some of the content might have to be age restricted. And there were some questions in the chat, like slot machines, like drinking, like things that might have some explicit suggestive things in the story. So on one hand, it is okay to be not made for kids, but at the same time, it's only for somebody by law who is over 18. And if by law, whatever you're promoting, and by promoting I'm saying doing the video is promoting, doing your video is by law only allowed for somebody who is 18, you have to mark it as adult content, meaning age restricted. Now if you do lose your monetization for that video, so gotta be careful with that. So I hope that clarifies that. We will get back to the questions at the end of the live stream, guys, so keep them, write them, save them. We will try as best as possible to understand this together with you. Now let's get back a little bit about what exactly is kids videos.
And you're going to be talking, and while you're doing that, somebody's asking again how to change the settings. I'm just going to show that while you're talking. So you just talk, but I'll show them how to change the settings again.
Yeah, and once again, just remember that start with your channel settings first, and then you can go through each video separately if that's what you have to do. Okay, so let me get back to what exactly videos are supposed to be made for kids. Okay. And according to the FTC guideline and COPPA, a video is child-directed if children are the primary audience based on the factors described later on, or children are not the primary audience, but the video is still directed to children based on the factors below. So it doesn't matter if your audience is directly directed to children or not. This applies to you. The subject matter of the video: educational content for preschoolers. So anything that is targeted specifically to preschoolers, educational content of any form will be falling under made for kids. Whether children are your intended or actual audience for the video. Whether the video includes child actors or models. Now, this is a question about if you have your own kids in the video. Should we restrict them and mark them as made for kids? I'll leave it open for now. Whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. So if your video contains anything that is Disney related, anything toy related, even if you're not specifically targeting children, you have to mark it as made for kids. So what Andrew was talking before about Disney channels, about pop channels, about toy channels that might not be for kids exactly, but there still contains toys, they have to be marked as made for kids. Now, if you do have only a couple of videos that are like that, you do only mark those specific videos as made for kids. Only those specific videos. Now,
can I just interject for one second? The B Lady Apiary asked a fantastic question. What about setting of how to style instead of going under the setting going under education? It goes by the content that you're doing, not the category. That is a fantastic question. Thank you so much for that. It's got to do with what the end product is that will be seen. The categorization is one part of it, but it's not all of it. You can categorize it under anything. If the end is deemed as geared towards children, it gets the same treatment no matter what category. Very good question.
Whether the language of the video is intended for children to understand, whether the video includes activities that appeal to children, such as play acting, simple songs or games, or early education. So now if you're singing a lullaby on your video that is made for kids, you might be just singing a lullaby and that's it. But lullaby is a simple song that appeals to children, and therefore it is made for kids, and you have to mark the video accordingly. And whether the video includes songs, stories, or poems for children, So any fairy tale readings, any book readings, any book reviews with regards to simple stories, poems, or songs are also made for kids. Any other information you may have to help determine your video's audience, like empirical evidence of the video's audience. Well, that one is the most clear one. So if in your analytics you actually see that most of your audience is under 18, especially if it's under 13, well, that's kind of automatically tells you that it is made for kids. Wow. A lot of gray areas. A lot of questions about if fishing with kids, like it was in the channel here in the chat, should be marked as made for kids. Does my latest vacation with my daughter have to be marked as made for kids?
There was also Cobra Roll asking about they do a lot of theme parks and going in with kids and stuff like that.
Theme parks definitely made for kids because theme parks themselves are targeted for kids as well.
You know, a lot of them are saying if the kids are the focal point of it, okay, my kids Johnny and Dave's day at the park. Well, that's automatically geared to kids without saying. It's how far do you step it back and how much are the kids a part of it. Now, say I'm a farming channel. I'm working on the tractor and my kids run in for 20 seconds, hey everybody in the vlog, and then they run back out. Most likely not. If they're there the whole time with me, yes. Even though it's not a kid activity, they're still a part of it from beginning to end. So if in case you've done anything, God forbid, you let out a swear word where you did it, where you banged your hand working on the axle or something like that. This is where you really start to have to figure out how much of a presence the kids into it, activity does into it, toys into it. There's many factors that can up the amount of chances of you getting a strike from it. Thank you, Pusa Studios, for helping make this clearer. Gothic Rose, thank you so much for the super chat. Do appreciate it. And thank you for the kind words. That was really awesome. Thank you so much.
I do agree that user one here says, I just find these rules way too vague and could lead to everyone getting fined due to the demobilization bot being used, but hardwired to look for kids' videos. Yes, definitely. It's going to have some problems, especially at the beginning, for sure. As it goes and learns, there's going to be tons of appealing and all of that stuff going on in January because there is lots of gray areas. And we will only see it in January what exactly they mean because YouTube itself doesn't know.
And hold on to your hats because so many people are going to get caught with videos they forgot they even had. Best thing you can do to yourself is start going through your catalog, not watching every single one of them. Start thinking first, which videos do I remember where I might have kind of jumped into that? Is there any that jumped in? Is there any that I have kids into it a lot, so on and so forth? Is there any where I did some pretend playing that I was a child, or just jokingly did it go to start looking at those, and then you got to start looking through your whole catalog and backing yourself up.
Now there's a question about flying the drone. Now flying a drone is I
just want to say thank you to Eileen Value, the fam. Thank you so much for the super chat. Do appreciate it just before it went away. Pusa Studios, what about a channel about educating people on different mental health issues? Those are the channels, unfortunately. You wouldn't think of it. Those are the channels like hunting and stuff like that that's going to get more and more caught into such a gray area just on their own, let alone with involving children. But if you're talking about it involving children and stuff like that, the facts, talking about childhoods going on to it, anything that would make kids want to come in and learn more about it, where you're trying to help children.
Yeah.
Well,
I think with you, Eileen, with mental health issues, you got to be very careful because some of them might be intended for kids to learn, so then you would have to mark them. But some of it also might be age restricted, which then you would have to mark as age restricted. So you just got to be very, very detailed about what kind of content you're putting out there. So now just a example of somebody flying a drone in general is not going to be made for kids. But if you're flying a drone with your son there, it's going to be made for kids because kids are more likely to watch the videos with kids in them.
Yep.
So there would be the slight difference right there.
Yep. And if you fly over certain things, there's a lot of close-ups. They could go as far as saying, well, you were flying over a fair. And you really did you did some ground shots. Some of you guys, drone guys, I know you'll vlog your way into where you are, then shoot up from the air and back down. If it's a county fair, then the argument can say, well, there was kids music playing and there was a Ferris wheel in there and there was some tempting things that would more entice children to come and watch. Once again, I know you guys are probably saying, why are they doing this? They don't even have the answers to it. That's what's to get the discussion going, guys, so you start telling it with yourselves about just how gray this area is. That's the exact message we wanted to portray. How careful, how diligent you got to be, because it is so gray. You're going to be walking in landmines onto it, and that's not sounds scary. It's just the truth of the matter. That's the way it is, and it's another one that will never fully be cut black and white, because they'll never have anything on YouTube that will be that black and white when it comes to this stuff, unfortunately. So it's creators' discretion.
Yeah. Now, you might wonder, how old is a kid? The age of a kid in the United States is defined as anyone under the age of 13. However, you have to look with your own laws of the country that you are residing in to see if there are any different laws. So YouTube laws are going to be applying to you no matter where you are, plus the laws of the local government. So therefore, once again, it applies to everybody no matter where you are in the United States or not, if even a slight bit of your audience is from United States. Now, if you're not sure about your audience, YouTube says, take a look at the features of your video. Does it have actors, characters, activities, games, songs, or stories that kids are particularly attracted to? If so, your video may be directed to kids. So once again, I'm just going to read it. Does it have actors, characters, activities, games, songs, or stories that kids are particularly attracted to?
And then when that part said, there's something else I was thinking of today. I just remembered it again. You know where this also too opens up a lot of gray area? A lot of YouTubers love doing these challenge videos. What do a lot of challenge videos? They involve a lot of kids games, a lot of eating girls, a lot of fun things that are done by those same challenges, because they tend to run, that are viewed by a lot of kids as well. Those I see being a big attractant for this in the future too. I really do. I think that's something people are going to have to be very, very, very careful with, because you wouldn't think it, like just eating like gross sandwiches and all the stuff that's done on here, that can all be tied back into as exciting, because there's a big pattern of them being watched by young people. They're challenges for a reason, because most times those ones are not something that we do as adults every day. We kind of like let go, bring in our inner child a little bit while we're doing it. That can put you into really murky waters as well. I mean, I remember there was some challenges I seen not long ago. They were doing twisters coming back again and stuff like that. Yeah, all those things can be huge triggers to get hit with this. So there is basically tons of hallways here where you can turn completely innocently. So you really got to think what could be considered as kids entertainment, because as Xenia was just listing off, those are very guidelines. But this is a major headache. Thanks a lot to YouTube. That's right, Premier Hell. That's right. It most certainly is. All the onus is on us when it's said and done, with some vague ass answers that you're supposed to be deciding each time whether you're violating an FTC rule. When you think about it, that's what it comes down to. Even though they got the penalty, it comes on to us to maintain it, that they're in good standings from this point on. So we're getting a couple of vague answers to maintain a $130 million fine and an FTC ruling. It's quite depressing when you think about it, to be honest, when it's all said and done. It really is. That's a lot of pressure when you just came onto YouTube to create. I mean, we all knew there were some guidelines, but they're just coming. We can't even keep up with them anymore. We used to be like, okay, we can run with this. This is going to be a great story. Now it's like, which one is the one we want to run with almost? And they're being thrown in the lap. It's like people that you guys, the fishing channels that do carp, where they jump right in the boat with you. We're almost at that point right now. And it's not stopping. It's just a continuous, it's either new ones or updates on ones just coming in at rapid succession. So it is hard to keep up with, and that's why it's important we all discuss it together. That's why we all understand the weight that these all carry, so at least we can make the right decisions. My advice to anybody, if you're ever wondering about it, is always stay out of the gray. If it's gray, get the hell out of it, because that's the best place of getting caught at it a lot of times. If you can help it, avoid it at all costs. I don't like sanitize before somebody's going to lash at me about it. I don't like it. I'm not saying be full house. Just saying, if you start getting murky water, let it go, and that'd be my opinion, because it's just too easy to fall into one of these sinkholes right now, without even wanting to, without even meaning to. It's too bad. It's really too bad for the platform itself as a whole, especially when there's so many places where it needed to hit so hard that there's so many. This almost hits like some. Yes, there was some major problems. Let's go back for a second. I should even reverse it a bit. A couple of years ago, the Bradburys and all the brothers and all of them, where they had Spider-Man takes a crap on Elsa and all these things that were going on. YouTube should have dealt with that way back when. That would have probably saved us being where we are today. That was the stuff that got way out of control, was directly marketed towards kids, all the same tags that were used with all the big Elsa channels and Disney channels and all that, with absolutely insane stuff going on, and they turned a blind eye until it finally all blew up. And now a lot of legitimate creators are going to get hit with it. Not just the ones that get caught in the grayer side like us, but ones that actually did it for kids within the proper guidelines. They could have dealt with this so long ago, and I have no problem with them creating, because you're not supposed to be on here under 13. Good. I like that there's a separate place for them. That's the way it should be, and they should be enticing the creators to be over there doing great things onto it. I have no issues with that whatsoever. I think it's the best thing, as long as we wouldn't get hit with all this backfire that's going to happen from it. You know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what the future brings, but definitely you're going to have to be very vigilant on what you do on here and what you upload, and especially very vigilant on what you've already uploaded. You have time to do it now before this kicks in. Go back and start going through your catalog and really looking at it. Really make sure that you don't have stuff that violates. Remember that time where you were making everybody laugh and just grabbed your kids' toys and come in and put them on and screwing around, whatever acts you're doing with them as a joke, or making them say and stuff like that? All that stuff can quickly come back soon after the 1st of January and really bite you in the ass for it. So just start checking your stuff and really go over it and mark them appropriately.
Now, so if you make videos that are for everyone but not directly targeted towards kids, the question is, should you select no, not made for kids? Is that safe route to go? On general, I would mark the whole channel as no, not made for kids, but then would go into separate videos and double check if there are some content there that might be. Because as I just said, that it doesn't matter if children are the primary audience or they are not. The rules apply to both. So even if your audience is not the main children audience, it is not mainly targeted for children, it can still be marked as made for kids as per these guidelines. And once again, I'm going to include all the resources in the video description after it uploads, so you can go back and check it and double check it. So the safe route to go, if you know, okay, I'm not kids channel, safe route to go is market all your channel as no, not made for kids, and then go through your library for each video and think, is there something that might be appealing? Is there a child in there? Is there a toys reviewed? Is there a lullaby? Is there a character? Something like that. And if there is, then you mark that separate video as made for kids.
I wanted to address the fish sandwich show. Hope you're feeling better. Hope you're on the mend. Most of my videos rock, but I do curse in some of them, so I just age restrict them all. But you see, you shouldn't have to.
No.
And once again, that's a gray area for the most part. But my way, I've kind of summed it up. Now, like I say, this is summing up a gray area. For the most part, if you keep it HBO, you're okay. You shouldn't have to do that because you're suppressing your growth onto it. We knew right away as soon as that yellow coin again tonight, I can spot it, Xenia can spot it a mile away now. We can see when it comes in. The push is so much less. They say it doesn't. And they say they're developing new money to cover that area, which they should, because, video game, if there's a lot of cursing, video games, certain kinds of rated movies and all that would do fantastic in those niches. It would actually be a match for them. But that's a story for another day. But as long as you're not doing it, they even gave the guidelines. Do not put cursing in your thumbnails, your tags, your title, etc. Avoid cursing for the first 30 seconds. This is from YouTube Creator Insider. And as long as you're not cursing like a blue streak, and I know you, I mean, I know you're not one of, you're not like a drunken truck driver when you talk. You should be okay. I wouldn't see you having any trouble whatsoever. And it will actually help with your channel getting some more traction. Because that is a sad part of it. By you actually taking more diligence than the other ones would, it's penalizing you by not pushing you as much. And it does make the difference it makes when you get limited monetization is staggering. It really is. How you can see it the moment it happens, within minutes. You can just see that push and the numbers watching and the new ones coming in. Right away when I stop seeing people saying quickly as much, like hi, how are you, welcome, and I look over the number and it's kind of fluttering, it's like, yep, there we go. We just got that coin again. So I wouldn't do it to myself unless you desperately need it. And like I say, we know your channel quite well. You're not exactly somebody I would call needed of limited monetization. I think you're quite good. Blizzard FPV, how are you? Thank you so very much, my friend. Hope you're doing well tonight out in Alberta. Much love to you. Hope you're having a grand one. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate it a lot. This is Clutching at Straws. What if you hear my daughter in the background talking, or maybe just as in my viewing my fish?
No, that shouldn't affect it.
It shouldn't, but like say like your daughter's in and out like every minute, and you do a 10-minute video and she's there for 60% of the time, then you start to kind of wonder a bit, because she can then technically start to be considered a bit more as a focal point in the show. For the most part, it should be okay. It should be, if she's talking a lot and interacting with the camera more, that ups the possibilities of it. If she starts bringing in toys and talking about them and taking a more predominant role within that 10 minutes, that adds the chances then that it could be. But if she just like you hear a bit in the background and stuff like that, for the most part, should be okay. But it's depending what you're doing too. Because remember that, you're sitting there and you're having a couple of drinks, and the kids are talking all the time about. Who knows how gray it might be? We're almost going to have to separate our kids so much for everything on here. We do that anyways because we don't want our kids too much to do with YouTube. We've seen enough of the bad side of it. We're not too big on our kids touching it with a 10-foot pole. But that said, it's not bad for everybody. There's some channels in here where the kids are doing fantastic stuff. That's just our choice as parents for that one for the moment. But you do not have to. The message I guess we're really trying to say tonight is just because you're not a kids channel doesn't mean you can't get hit with this. That was the biggest thing we wanted to get, and really didn't think that was portrayed well with Creator Inside's video today. They did a great job of explaining the process and touching over it, and they did say themselves, and I give them full props, that they cannot isolate every individual case, and it's up to the creator in the end, but here's some certain points to work around. They should have stressed a lot more of how sometimes the more minute ones can still get you some trouble with your channel when it's all said and done.
Funko Illuminati, thank you so much. And yes, definitely a lot to think about because it is still a toy. So yeah, definitely Funko channels are going to be hit as well.
We feel bad for you guys because we're not trying to downplay what you do. We understand it's an adult collection. We get all that stuff. So if we ever saw it, we're just talking from the algorithm's point of view and how it can differentiate. How unfair it is, really, to be honest to you guys. Thanks, Pusa. A little bit of clarification there. Doing better. It'll be 3 months next week since the double bypass. More energy now. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
That's great to hear.
Keep up the great work, my friend. Keep them. It's nice.
Question. I marked it as not made for kids, but anything with animation, I marked age restricted. No, not age restricted. Made for kids. There are two different. Now, once again, there are two parts you have to fill out. Okay. So one is it made for kids or is it not? And then the other completely different part is age restricted. Age restricted is something that should be only watched by somebody 18 and over. So please, unless it's something 18 and over, don't mark it. You're going to lose your monetization for it and push at the same time. So if it is not something completely age restricted as violence, alcohol, gambling, and so on, just mark it, no, it's not made for kids, and don't age restrict it, okay? If it's made for kids, it can't be age restricted. That's kind of be obvious.
The final girl, thank you so much for the super chat. That is so kind of you. Thank you for clarifying and discussing. Thank you so very much for that. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. I'm glad you're enjoying the discussion. It's so nice that so many people are involved. See, this is stuff that's, I think it gets Xenia and I going the most, is seeing everybody participating into it and that. This is so great to see. There's a myth going around a lot of times that people don't get, people do, there is a lot of people that really do care about what they do on here. And it's always great to hear you all. And we go back and read it over again after, guys. We try our best to catch all in the chat. But I'm glad you guys are talking about each other and going back and forth. That is awesome. The Bee Lady, thank you so much for all this information. It's our pleasure. We're all weeding through it together. Like we said, usually it's our Tech Talk Tuesday. We had to make a decision, and then the video was out, and then the questions just started pouring in, so we decided to jump onto it. David, the producer, how are you, my friend? Hope you're doing fantastic. You and Juliet tonight. Great to see you. Grandma Ducky, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing fantastic. Cardoso Media. It's unfortunate, though, that videos that are geared towards kids will no longer have comments at all. We'll disconnect the audience from the creator. It will, because it's a whole different... But if they were just to do it that and get them over in the kids, I'm fine with that, because that then saves us all the trouble, because we're having to be so diligent on a rule that they're not even supposed to be watching what we're making here anyways, in theory. And if a parent does, well, it's a parent's choice, and it is up to the parent on that one, I believe. Parents have to take some responsibility on that side. The problem is that we're all paying so much for our content for it. I'm happy with my daughter having a place to go where she doesn't see everything goes on here. I'm more than happy, because I see a lot of stuff on here I don't want her watching. Mm-hmm. So I have no issues with that. I get them set up over there, but give them enticements to keep creating over there engagement that's more controlled, so they can have a great experience on YouTube and the stuff they've been working on. Some channels have been doing this now for a decade towards kids. Somebody asked, I'm sorry, there was one I wanted to get to, was about pets. Who was it?
FDL Seeker, yeah. About the guide dog. No, it should be fine, but it's nothing to do with kids.
Oh, there was another one, though, after. Sorry, a new channel that was here. I do apologize. I had it and I lost it. But there's a great example. We're a gray area. Say you curse like a sailor. Say you like to have a couple of drinks. You're a farmer. You're allowed to. You know, you like to get on, talk about it and everything else. And then you have the ponies, and oh, look, every little kid loves a pony. Every little girl loves a pony. What a nice pony. And that. Are you venturing into that territory? Are you now trying to attract more kids? And kids do love ponies. And you start pushing more. It's not the same as like a Clydesdale getting hooked up to pull out some logs out of the woods. You know, what kind of animals do you start going into where it starts attracting more of that attention? It does open up doors to the possibility of you then being considered as gearing towards children without ever mentioning it. You're not telling kids to come in, you're telling other farmers that, you know, that's why you bought the pony and the kids love it and it brings in extra revenue for the farm and stuff like that. All innocent.
Northern Ohio Railroad said, what about those under 1K and needing the 4,000 watch time and then age restricted? Well, first of all, age restricted doesn't affect your watch hours whatsoever. Unless you privatize your videos, you know, your videos have to be public for them to count as watch hours. So unless you privatize or list them, you should be fine, no matter what age demographic you're gearing them to. And one other thing that I know is going to be going all over the place. This affects everybody, no matter if you're monetized or not. Because I know I'm going to be hearing this. Well, you're not monetized, it doesn't affect you. It does. And we're going to be talking about penalties just in a minute as well. So don't worry, there are going to be penalties.
Welcome, Warsaw Patriot. It's good to see you, but I did remove your comment. Please, no numbers. Thank you so much. Sean the Great Gamer, welcome. Infantry Outdoors. What if I honestly miss a video? Well, you can. They're going to be doing the searches on their own as well. It's better you find it before they do. You can also appeal it as well. They might just restrict it for you, and it's all it just goes on and nothing happened. But you're better off anytime you do it in advance. It's always better when you can. Danny Stout, Pusa, thank you for always providing us with great useful info. Thank you so much for making it so a pleasure to be in here, and the feedback and that from you guys is absolutely awesome. Thank you so much.
Now, I see a question about biographies and stuff. Now, in general understanding of it, it shouldn't affect this, and it shouldn't be age restricted nor it made for kids. So it's not, it falls into that middle category that it's not affected by. Now, again, it's going to depend what are you talking about. Maybe there's some specific thing like, I don't know, Disney biography that might be falling under it. I'm just picking at straws now, but other than that, the overall over primary age education and history should be fine and clear from this. Okay, so let's get back into this because we do still have some of the things to cover, as
Yes.
well as how and what you can do to try and influence FCT before it goes into full effect on January 1st. Although, as we've seen today, YouTube has started the changes already today. So they're not waiting for January. Okay, so let's jump back into that. And once again, age restrict your own video. That's the other part that we talked about. There is a difference. Once again, age restriction only applies for the videos that are over 18, that have to be only viewed by adults over 18. Because what happens there is that people that are not signed into Google can't watch the videos. Plus, you have to be on your YouTube settings over 18 in order to watch it, and you have to click the link in order to watch it. So there are multiple barriers that YouTube have created for videos that are over 18, age restricted. And therefore, if you do have any violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, if there's any, distress that can be caused for kids, once again, we did talk about that in the summer. If there is any dangerous of activities, or if legally the activity can only be done by 18 and over, like drinking, like gambling, things like that, they have to be age restricted, which is, again, a different things from what we talked about. Age restricted videos are not eligible for monetization, as I said before, and they are not shown in certain sections of YouTube as well. So that means that they're, let's suggest it, most likely they're not going to be on the main homepage of YouTube as suggesting browsing history as well. Anime channel is a good question. Lots of kids are watching those. If they're geared towards kids, they have to be marked as for kids. If they do have any violent actions in them, as sometimes animes do have, they have to be age restricted. If they fall into the middle grounds, then they should be fine. Once again, it depends on the content, and only you know what your content exactly is about.
And how safe you want to play it. So
yeah.
It's once again in the discretion of the creator, but just always be prepared to think on the conservative side as much as possible to it, because the algorithm will always try to favor the policy before the creator. Callie Beauty, how are you? Welcome. Great to see everybody in here. Phantasm Wolves, all these people in here, guys. Sorry I haven't had a chance to say hi to you all, but it's great to have you in.
Now, YouTube and FTC both are putting the responsibility of marking the content towards the creator. So YouTube and FTC wants, and it is actually required by FTC, they actually put that in a clause that the creator must have the option to mark it. I don't know why. What made them think of that? But anyway, so FTC decided that in order to protect our children, the creator must have an option to mark their content as made for kids or not. So this is the option that YouTube came up with today. Now, they also will be using, as Andrew said, their AIs and machine learning to help identify videos that are clearly directed to young audience. So the ones that are clearly directed and not marked correctly, AI will be able to spot like this. And as it learns more, it's going to be able to detect more and more videos that can contain this made for kids videos in them. They trust us to set audience accurately, but they might override audience setting choice in cases of error or abuse. They do say that if you mark it incorrectly, you will be able to, 1, appeal it using the feedback button on the left side of the screen. If you look right now on the left side of the screen, a little bit to the bottom side, you see that little feedback? Well, if you click on that, it lets you do a screenshot and describe what is going on in that action. So if they are correcting the way you marked your video, you are going to be able to appeal it, not through the appeal like everything else goes. I don't know why.
This kills me.
But through the feedback button on the left side of your screen.
And nothing gets more attention than a feedback button, folks. They all just sit around waiting for those to come in. They jump on it, you know.
Now, it also says that YouTube are going to penalize channels for errors in setting their videos. They don't tell how. It most likely is going to fall under community guidelines, as everything else does on YouTube, but they are not specifying what exactly is going to happen. This one is just a guess, if it is going to fall under the community guidelines, most likely it's going to go under the 3-strike rule, as it always does, with a warning. So first time you get the warning if there is one wrong video. Second time is the first strike. You lose your 2 weeks of live streaming and content and all the other stuff on your channel. And third time you lose your channel. So most likely it's going to fall under community guidelines, because what else it would fall under? YouTube is not specifying that, but my guess that's exactly what's going to happen. So if you don't have any offenses for now, if you do get it wrong, it might mark it itself, and you might get a warning, because everybody gets the first warning.
I just want to address, Warsaw Patriot. Warsaw Patriot, anything to do with rifles, guns, anything in that. I grew up with rifles and guns, so don't think I'm waving anything against it. And yes, the Second Amendment in the States, but as a global, on YouTube, that is just one. We were just talking to a channel today about that. It is just one of those things that they're just trying to smother as much as they can on here. That's when it's all said and done. Anything that involves firearms, cleaning them, talking about them, hunting. If you go out and you do a video, not on just showing like your deer stand, some deer out, and that stuff is tripping people's videos like crazy. It's just getting to the point. It's almost, I'm not going to say zero tolerance, because it's not true. It's still up there, but for lack of a better term, I feel they're just smothering it into lack of to zero tolerance for it in general. It's too bad. Well, look at the Huntsman. I mean, the Huntsman gave up monetization and doing other things because it was just fighting every video was just fighting a brick wall at that point. And Destination Chronicles said, so basically yesterday I did a video with my grandkids ziplining. Yeah, they're the focal point of the video. It has that would go into as content for kids mostly. I would do it if I had my kids and I took them out. I would put it under that. I would have to bite the bullet because they're the focal point of the video. It's on them doing stuff that would attract other kids to want to see them. It falls right into it. So that's why the option, like if you were a kids channel only, you would be doing it straight from your channel. But because your channel isn't all about kids, you'd be picking video by video and saying them. So the Mile High guy was asking about that a while ago. I said, yeah, your videos are mostly adult content. So you would put then for your main channel part. And if anybody hasn't seen that, I'll just press play on this again. There you go. That's how you do it for your channel. If your channel is geared towards children, this is where you have to set it. You have to go in here and do it, and then it's done from that point on. If not, then I'll just show the second part in a minute, and that's where you set each video, which we're gonna have to do every time I go up. Trapper J Outdoors, how are you? Welcome. 777 Outdoors, how are you? I got my community tab today, and I still can't go live. Do I just wait, or do you have any suggestions on the normal?
Tweet at Team YouTube. Yesterday we included the links of how to connect with YouTube in our yesterday's video. In the description there's 4 ways of how to connect with YouTube. So Team YouTube is one of them. If not, then go back and check it there.
Dasher the Smasher, I do vlogs and artwork. And don't post any explicit stuff. Well, you're going to do under adult, and if one down the road you do one at a kids park and there's a lot of kids around or something like that, or whatever the case where it involves children and any amount that will draw, or you do like a real a vlog at a carnival scene or something like that that's really geared with a lot of flashing lights and the roller coaster, and then you might want to consider that one if it looks like something that could draw kids in, if that's the focal point of your video. If you're at a fair and you're just talking, it's a farming a rural fair, and you flash for a second toward the Ferris wheel that's there and then go back, jump out your business, no. But if that whole thing is pretty much the focal point of your video, then yes, most likely, because it's going to be considered as something that would draw children in. Is there a way I can change the settings from family to adult content for? Yes, that's what we were talking about right there. And then you can do it as well for video by video. That's what we were just showing. This will come up for video. And this will come up. This is where you go to do your channel setting altogether. But this is only if you have the kids on here. So you would just set that. But you're still going to have to go through the same things. It's not going to protect you from the wrath of this if it feels that you've done something where it can involve drawing kids in and you didn't notify them. That's on your diligence to let YouTube know right away.
Grimes Fine's coming with a dose of comedy. What if I'm driving in a white van in the video?
Oh.
Hello.
How are you?
Where is the actual document? Well, there's different types of documents. I can give you the COPPA document right now. All the rest with the descriptions I'm gonna list in the description afterwards. Otherwise, it's just gonna be spamming with everything. But I will give you the COPPA, so if you want to read that in the meantime, you can do that. But the YouTube's guidelines and all of that, I'm gonna put after the video is updated. There you go. There's a full document if you want to read it. I've read it a couple times. It's quite a enjoyable entertainment to read.
I was just saying, with Grimes Fine would be another example. What if he gets a locker, and the whole show is pretty much geared around kids' toys,
Well, anyway, he would have to change the settings on the video, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Whereas you would have to really look at each separate video content that is there.
And I want to say that I want to turn this off, okay? I want this point because I don't think this is getting. I want to make sure everybody understands this. We understand first and foremost, we're not siding with them. Secondly, we understand that a lot of people, a lot of adults collect stuff. Okay, so we're not trying to to insult or to belittle or anything like that. We're just talking the clear facts onto it. There's no judgment over what you do. Lots of adults do it. There's nothing wrong with it. What we're talking about is don't think in the eyes of, well, I'm an adult, I collect Disney stuff, so it's okay. It's how the algorithm sees what you're doing as, not how you see it as. It's no reflection on your interest, your hobby, your passion for it. Unfortunately, the algorithm just doesn't look at that stuff. It's just going to look and say, like Grimes Fine, that's why I was saying to you, because that's what I wanted to jump into. Say he finds a locker and it's full of, great collectible stuff. But if all of it's geared at, it's Disney stuff and Frozen and all these things and that, he's going to have to market as kid content, because kids will be drawn on any word, any mention of the tags. The content itself could be recommended because it has a lot of kids' toys. Even though adults will collect them, and there's nothing wrong with that, the algorithm doesn't look at it that way. What if I bought a unit full of Dude Perfect stuff? I would return it.
Oh, look at the attention it generates for him.
I know.
Now, you're not responsible for other channels' content, so no.
No. This is only stuff that would be drawn in, that really would draw in young people.
For example, if you would unload a locker full of Disney toys, that would be
Barbie, anything like that, any of those collectibles. And yes, most likely to be on the safe side, even older stuff like Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, that yes, most kids today won't even know the name of it. It still would be considered as kid content, and you would probably have to err on the side of the caution. And
made for kids.
Made for kids.
Yeah, and if you are saying, well, some do and some don't, you would have to see if the majority of it is toys, then yes, and if just only few, then no.
Drone Kings and Darwin. Anything Frozen should be blocked anyways. In brackets, I know, I should let it go.
Oh, we're going to the Frozen 2. We're going to the Frozen 2 in a week and a half. Well, me and our daughter is counting the days. She wanted to get her ticket to show and tell today.
What? Grimes Fine's. Okay, I guess I was behind everything. I talked to Dude Perfect today about the unit we bought full of their stuff. Wouldn't it be epic if they accept our challenge?
I know, right?
See, I didn't know, so I'm out of the loop. That's why now I got egg on my face. Xenia, I'll let you field the questions. Everything comes from Twitter.
Well, all the latest content is about the Dude Perfect thing that they uncovered. The storage unit that they didn't know actually belonged to Dude Perfect team with the props for their challenges that they have been doing.
Premier Hell, how are you? You brought up a very good question. What if you float around as a talking cat head and it looks kind of cat cartoony? I know.
Okay, now.
No, because he does a lot of his live streams with that.
I know.
And I would be concerned about it. I really would. I feel like that's one of those potholes to fall into. I do. I could see that having a chance of backfiring.
Including animated characters or cartoon figures is one of the laws in this new change. Okay, so let's keep the questions and let's get to the end of this, okay? Because there is still the penalties.
I wasn't going to go so hard. I was trying to be more diplomatic.
There are still the penalties that are gonna coming up from FTC. And also some things that we still can do, guys. We still can do something about it. YouTube has started these changes today, but really the official law is only coming into place in January, and there are still some things we can do. So stick around. Let's talk about it, then we'll try to get back to your questions. What's the topic for tonight? The huge changes on YouTube starting today. How about that one? Click the like button and share it out if you haven't yet. We do appreciate it. It is for everyone, no matter if you are in US or not.
Let's check the gold coin while you're doing that. Let's do the gold coin update and see if we're still limited monetization. Yes, sir. We're still limited monetization. Isn't it nice when you try to talk about what YouTube is talking about? Every time, folks, every time. So if you guys can tweet it out, please hit that like button. It helps immensely, guys, for us to try and fight, because we get this every time we try to do this. Thank you. Now the floor is yours.
Now, I can't find a way to mark my old videos. Mark your channel as a whole first, and then go back to the video, and it should have that option in the settings of the video. Basic settings of the video. Okay, now, so let's get back to it. So we talked about the penalties a little bit already. As I said, YouTube will have consequences on your channel, and most likely those are going to be community guidelines strikes if you do mark it in error or don't mark it at all. So if somebody of you there, well, my channel is all fine, I'm not doing any, kids related, I don't have to do anything. You do. Every channel, no matter how big or small, no matter if you're monetized or not, no matter what kind of content you have to go in their channel settings and mark one of the three options there. You must. All of billions of channels, whatever you have there, you have to do it. Okay? You must. It's not if this or if that. All channels have to do it. You will get penalty if you don't. Starting January, they will start penalize you if you haven't marked it. Please do.
I'm just answering B-Lady's question. There you go. Here. There's our live stream right now, and it is at limited monetization because we're talking about the platform. And because of the title, it sees it as controversial and therefore doesn't want to recommend it to most advertisers. So therefore, it generates less ad revenue. Therefore, our live stream gets pushed less, and this happens all the time, especially when we talk about YouTube. So that's exactly what it's all about.
Yeah, and if Final Girl has a good suggestion as well, you can mark a bunch at a time, go to videos and check the boxes for the videos. Next, choose actions and go to more actions. Then choose age restriction. As anything in the bulk you can do on YouTube as well, you can do the age restriction as well if there is any. Okay, so once again, just repeated it because I already know the questions tomorrow or on any YouTube Tech Talk, so we're gonna definitely refer back to this. Okay, so then, well, the question is always that that FTC is going to be applying legal consequences to the channels and creators that are not within these guidelines. And again, it doesn't matter if you are in the US or not. If any, even a little percentage of your audience is located in US, you are legally responsible for complying with COPPA. And are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? FTC has ruled that the creator could face a fine of up to $42,530 per video.
Per video. US dollars, folks. Per video, US dollars.
Now, it will be dependent if how many supporters do you have, how many views it got, if it's a first offense or not, how much information got collected and so on. So it is not exactly that number. It says up to, but you can face up to $42,000 fine per video as a creator for not complying with the rules. That's crazy. It truly is crazy. It's enough to bankrupt anyone, really. Even the bigger creators, you would think it's only 1% of creators that are actually earning millions here, like PewDiePie's are or people like that have been here for ages. Other than that, there's very little percentage that earns anything like that for the whole channel, let alone the video. $42,000 per video, up to, if you don't comply. It is insane.
So if that doesn't put some more skin in the game, I don't know what does.
Yeah. So as I said, it will depend of if you have violated the rule, if how many supporters you actually have. It doesn't specify just yet exactly how it will be reflected into that, but it's definitely there, and they will enforce it. FTC have said numerous times that they will go after creators, and as you know, the very first class action suit led by a parent of a 5-year-old is there, and it's not only against YouTube but also the creators of YouTube, like Ryan's Toys, that we all know is the most popular toy kids channel, and they are personally sued by this parent for collecting the information. Personally sued, personal liability,
Civil suit, yeah.
civil suit for creator. So once again, just something to think about. So now the question is, why is creators liable? Well, FTC states that until you get your website or online service into compliance with the rules, you must stop collecting, disclosing, or using personal information from children under age of 13. So that means that it is your responsibility to know that YouTube is not collecting the information for kids videos, and if you are creating videos and not marking them, you are actually collecting this data, which is against the guidelines, and therefore you're responsible. YouTube basically gives you tools to not do it. YouTube gives you tools to not collect the data when you mark videos as made for kids. So when you mark videos as made for kids, YouTube stops collecting most of analytics for it. Therefore, being within the guidelines.
They've thrown the ball into your court by doing this right here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they've done. They've washed their hands, they've done their part, and then it's up to you.
So if you mark it in error, you basically are saying, well, I want this analytics. I want this in personal information, and that is against the rules. And that's why we as creators are separately liable and responsible for marking it, separately liable and responsible for paying the fines, and possibly ending up in the court in the bigger cases probably, because YouTube has provided these tools for us.
Yep. And I think it was Bait the Hook asked again how much it is. The fine can go up to $42,500.
Yeah, $42,530 per video.
Per video.
Scott thoughts you'll have to go back because we did talk about that previously.
Sorry. Because there was we can't go back too far now because we covered so much tonight. But definitely go back and watch it over.
So now there was a question if it's only YouTube that complies with this. No, all internet actually will have to comply under COPPA. So really theoretically, unless your platform is giving you the tools to opt out in this kind of way of collecting the information, you will be liable. I know that TikTok is the next one on the board. They actually do have the date already for the suit against TikTok on FTC. So it definitely will be applied in a more wider way. Just YouTube have fallen as the first, so to say, in front of it.
Ketchup and pie, it's enough to make me bankrupt. Well, definitely. I mean, none of us are making that kind of money to cover these kind of losses like that. I mean, that's the thing about it. That's the scary part of all this. It's not digging into, well, it's going to cut into a loss of our earnings and stuff like that. It's cutting into what's not made and a way more than that. So it would be sweet to hit... I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying because we're in a we kind of don't do it during the middle of the discussions, Tim.
Yeah.
But check out Tim, guys. I'm posting his link. He's less than 20 away, folks, from hitting 3K.
Sorry about that. Any other day.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not that you don't matter into it. It's just either that or when we have on guests. Once we're into that is usually the two times that we don't. But I'm still pushing for you. I'm still pushing for you. So you don't have Tim grab them up, guys.
I see that in Frontier Doors can't find the settings. Why? Because it's only available in new YouTube Studio. So if you're trying to find the new settings of how to change this in a classic, it's not going to be there. You have to use YouTube Studio. That's the only place. And if you're trying to upload kid-oriented videos on your mobile and mark them as kid-oriented, you won't be able to do that either, because for now only they are working on it, but you're only able to do it through the laptop. You can still change stuff, but you can't upload and mark it as kids-friendly.
The B-Lady, everything in the end is always under some scrutiny, and that's a good question. You really asked some good ones. I love that. Always remember, guys, your channel name, your description, your tags, your thumbnails, everything that you do on here in any shape or form, your about section, everything is always going to be open up for scrutiny and can always violate different terms. I'm not saying just for this one, but in general. Remember, everything you have on here is open to it for copyright strike and community strikes, no matter what the case, no matter what the cause. So never think that anything is protected. And as a side note, because we always get that a couple times, I've seen it through tonight, monetization, all monetization means is you have a right to profit sharing on YouTube. All the rules apply, whether it's your first day on here, you're not monetized, whether you've been on here 10 years and not monetized, or whether you've been monetized for 3 years. Whatever the case, everybody is still has to adhere to the same laws. Nobody is immune from it based on monetization. Monetization is strictly nothing more than for profit sharing. That's where it begins and that's where it ends as far as accountability on here. That applies to everyone on here in all shapes and forms. No matter where you're from, the size of your channel, monetized or not, has no bearing on it whatsoever. The rules are broken here. The rules are broken here.
Blue collar fishing, it's both. YouTube has implemented these changes or giving us the tools as a consequence to COPPA, but part of COPPA guidelines are actually lined out that YouTube has to give us the tools to restrict our videos or to have the settings. That's exactly what it says. I did already put the link in the chat, but again, I don't want to spam with all the links in the chat right now. So I'm gonna, after the video uploads, the same as with yesterday's video, I'm gonna add all the informational links in the description with the descriptions what it is about, so you can go yourself and check it out. I will put the link to COPPA itself if you want to read it before going to bed tonight. You can definitely check that out. It's very interesting reading, not to say the least. So you can go and check it out. A lot of what YouTube is talking about in their guidelines now is actually demanded by FTC, and they did give us 4 months grace period. We did talk about this 2-3 months ago when it just started. This was only supposed to start on January 1st. YouTube decided to jump on a ship earlier. Well, that's just YouTube. Miss Benign in America, thank you so much. And yeah, there is a link once again if you do want to read the whole thing of COPPA. That is the very beginning of this ruling, so to say. Now we do have something about what we can do still about this.
Sorry about that, guys. Daughter was flailing hands. Her and her brother having a disagreement over dishes. What else is new?
So, as I said, as a result of FTC ruling earlier this year, new YouTuber rules will cut some creators' ad revenue by up to 90%. And that have been claimed by FTC themselves as well. And not only that, FTC is actually pushing to expand the definition to include child attractive content, which means that any video that children might be interested in would have it personalized as disabled and see a significant drop in revenue. So right now, in the way the COPPA is worded, they are talking about made for kids. Like I said, it doesn't have to be targeted for kids, but something that is super appealing for kids. Now, FTC is still thinking to add a new clause to it by January 1 to expand the definition to include child attractive, which basically would include any video that a child could be interested in. If they do that, well, like, there are going to be more videos that are marked like that than not.
Yep.
Because, I mean, kids are interested in anything, especially kids. If we market anybody 13 and under, I mean, anything they can be interested in any history, any education.
Sneakers, I mean, there's
anything. Now, they are thinking that's not yet there, but we have to look after it and keep an eye on it, so to say.
That's why I'm talking tonight more about going back for your videos. That's why I'm putting them, because honestly, I do believe that's going through. I do not see them stopping here. They want to cover themselves, so whoa.
The question about FTC?
The creator, please don't do that. The creator, please remove that right away, or I'll have to time you out because it won't let me. Right away, please, no numbers.
Yeah. And it does apply for everybody, as I was mentioning before. It doesn't matter if you are in US or not. If even a little percentage of your audience is based out of US, so you have people watching you from US, you do have to comply with COPPA. So it doesn't matter if you're not based in US.
No problem, the creator. Thank you for removing it. Heritage Texas Farms, thank you so very much for the congrats on 10K. And AJC, it's great to see as well. Stereo Space, but next, I thought you said 90%, right? Wasn't it 19 or 90%?
90.
90.
Yep. 90.
90.
Now, there are two things that we can still do. Like I said, they officially it will come into effect January 1st. They are still reviewing it. They're still adding stuff. They're still taking away stuff. They were supposed to close the public look through it in October, but because of the huge interest of people, they actually changed the date. So we still have time to actually change something. The deadline time is December 9. FTC is specifically asking for public comments from YouTube creators to talk about the impact of these changes on their revenue, on their channels, and possible changes that might be added or taken away from the actual original COPPA document. December 9 we still have. We can't find it with YouTube, but we can try and talk with FTC, and maybe there are going to be some changes. So there are two things. One thing you can participate is to actually fill out the paperwork in the FTC COPPA rule review, which is under www.regulations.gov. Document, so you can fill out the online form talking exactly how it is impacting you directly. And you can, I don't know if you're, Andrew, showing the picture of that or not.
I'm sorry, I was fixing this at the moment, so how can I help you, my dear? I was really channeled out for a second.
Well, I'm talking about how to apply for the review with FTC.
I don't think I have that one card. I must have missed it when you put it up.
Well, unfortunately, I can't copy paste all the addresses here. Yes, that's the one.
Or here?
Yeah, the gray one.
Oh, here. Okay.
Yeah.
Already? Okay.
So once again, you can put your information and what you would like to change in the COPPA under www.regulations.gov, or you can write a letter, and the address is on the screen right now. You can write a letter and deliver your comment to the Federal Trade Commission itself. Mark it as the COPPA ruling and COPPA rule review, and you can write your own comment there. So we're going to leave that for a little bit. You can always come back, by the way, if you need the address, or you can go to the regulations.gov and fill the online information there till December 9th. December 9th. This is important that we do it, guys. If each and every one of us does it, even if it doesn't directly take away all the revenue from you, but it affects you even in small way. If you're considering changing the platforms, or if you're considering not making videos that you enjoy doing, fill it out. It takes a couple minutes, but it might be worth it. Now, the other option of you to do is to go to change.org. There are creators that are signing the petition, and it almost has reached 75,000 signatures. You can go to change.org and sign the petition there that also is asking for changes in COPPA ruling before they come into place in January 1st. Please go to both. Please go and fill out the form for COPPA rule review and go to change.org. There's still time to do this. There's tens of thousands of signatures there that might make a change. We do still have time. We can't do anything with YouTube. YouTube is only complying with FTC ruling. What we can do, we can talk to FTC. So please do it. It's December 9th. They have actually extended the olive branch and extended the deadline. So let's do this.
I wish it would work, but you know what? We got to try. It doesn't. If we don't try, then nothing was done, and at least you get a chance for a second to feel like your voice is heard. So, and if that, at least that's worth enough in its own. And you never know. Stranger things have happened, guys. Stranger things have happened. So really take the time and go over and do it, guys. It affects all of us. That's what I hope you guys, and I think people are really getting that, and I'm glad you're doing it. It wasn't a scare time. It was to really get people, because I know some of these things we put out, and that's what I was telling Xavier this afternoon. That's what happens a lot of times. Well, I'm not a kids channel, so I'm okay, but it's not about that. And it really does chase the course of how this platform goes from this point on. So there is way more accountability, guys, and it's let's call it for what it is. We're not done yet by a long shot. We're not done by a long shot. And I know we all want to say, well, YouTube should support us. We're the ones that's keeping them going and stuff like that. But in the end, it's a private business. I know this is going to sound mean, but I'm sure they're happy to lose a bunch of channels in the meantime, because there'll still be tons around. And it's just like, well, that just made it a little bit easier for us to manage. So I don't see them losing tons of sleep over the collateral damage. We have to make ourselves seen as huge damage, not collateral. And going over and doing stuff like this does help us to be more recognized on here for what we all do, whether you have 20 subscribers or 20 million. We all have a part on here. So I'm sick and tired of seeing Jimmy Fallon recommended to me half the time when I come on. Okay, I don't have any beef against any big YouTuber on here. I cheer them on whether I like them or not. They're the ones who made the platform that we're on today. But I do feel sometimes we're getting squeezed out to make room for more network television stars and movie stars and Will Smith. Not that I don't like Will Smith. I'm as much a fan of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as the next person and everything else he's done. But nonetheless, I think he's got enough coverage. We don't need to make him the king of YouTube and the rest of them. So, and tons more channels to come. Oh yeah, like we were talking tonight about rifles and all kinds of stuff like that. There's all kinds of segments that's just getting. Yeah, Ellen. Yeah, there's a great example. That's a fantastic example.
Good idea from Blue Collar Fishing is also to contact if you are in US, contact your local senator. And with regards to expression of speech, that might be touched here as well. The COPPA roll is talking about only less than 70,000 signatures being there, shows that hundreds of thousands of creators who have no idea this is happening. And this is exactly it. This is why we are doing this live stream, to inform you, but also to get you awareness that we still can do something about it. Share the information out. This is what we are here about, is to share the correct information out, to share it out, to pass it along to your communities, to your viewers. Viewers can do it too. Let it out, tweet it out, Facebook it out, make a video about it. You can always refer to our video, to the actual COPPA. You can always find the information. Please pass the information out so there is more of these signatures. There is more people submitting their comments. It is very, very important. This is going to change hugely. This is, in my opinion, this is worse than the first Adpocalypse. I don't even know if this is the fourth or fifth one, but this is the worse than Adpocalypse of 2018. This is.
Callie, welcome, and I just gave you your wrench. I took care of you. That's your other channel. Thanks for letting us know. And the Susie channel, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Susie's been with us since the very, very beginning. We are talking about the big changes, and Susie could easily be caught in a lot of this as well. In short, you'll have to go back and watch it. There is a ton of information into it, but in short, YouTube is going to be going under the FTC ruling. It is going to be clamping down on kids' content, content geared towards kids, and especially the second part we're talking about. Susie, if you don't know her, she does reviews of a lot of cakes and cookies and stuff like that. It's all hands, no vocals, no voiceovers or nothing. But, you know, stuff like cotton candy, all these different treats like that and stuff.
It definitely is gonna. Susie's definitely gonna fall under it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hate to be the bad news bearer, but unfortunately, that's what it is. Definitely gonna.
And that's those type of channels that are so gray area that are gonna hit. You know, it's. Also, I want to. Pixel P Teaching and Learning. I want to make sure I pronounce your name properly. I have your channel open here, and it's great to have you in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice to have you. And Gil Skills in the house. He just signed the petition. Good job, my friend. Good job, my friend. Very good job. Yeah, Susie, there's a ton of information. Honestly, if you can, we'll put up the timestamp after where we start talking about it. I definitely watch it and get all caught up on what's going on, because your channel's definitely most likely going to be in the crossfire for a lot of the videos that you do. In short, it's going to demonetize. You're going to have to register it as what's geared towards kids. It's too much, really. Honestly, go back, because I don't want to give you the half-assed answer onto it. Definitely go back and watch it, because you're going to want to. And you're putting all the links after the description, right?
Yeah, after it's uploaded, I'm going to add all the links to the description.
Queen, there's our question. I am really worried about losing my main channel, even though I do have over one views and over 3,000 subscribers. I'm not monetized at all on my main channel. I don't understand why you're worried about losing your channel, though. That's
Question: if you set your videos as for kids, will you still have ads on them? You will have general ads, not the personalized ones. So majority of the ads that come and are targeted by YouTube and Google products are analyzed by the audience that is watching. That's why you see the targeted ads of the stuff that you have recently searched, you know, things that you have looked at. It's all goes by the history and all of that. Those are targeted ads. They're paid for more, and therefore YouTube also pushes the videos with those more, and so on. So the not targeted ads, not personalized one, are still going to be on those videos. Now, like I said, the Tube Filter have done an experiment where people have disabled these ads on their videos, and you can do it manually too, if that's what you want to do. And the experiment showed that if you do that, you lose around 75% of your ad revenue. I would also argue that you lose the push from YouTube, because as we all know, although it says it doesn't prefer the monetized videos, it does. It does prefer YouTube ad-friendly videos. That it had confirmed before.
We're living proof. I'm just doing the update to see if we finally got our monetization
I don't
back.
think it will be.
No, I'm not expecting it. Yeah. It might. It's fooled us before, but it's still in review, and we're way over 1,000 views and stuff like that, and it's still holding, so that's not a good sign. And once again, why we talk about that is every time we talk about YouTube, this pretty much happens to us. And there you go. So because we talk about YouTube, right away our video gets limited monetization. And no, we're not greedy, ruthless YouTubers that care about that $2 with all of our hearts. It's because our live streams don't get pushed as much talking about this, because YouTube does not like the title like we have it, or the thumbnail, or the description, or all of them, most likely because it's talking about the platform, and it looks at us as being controversial, and that way it's protecting the big advertisers from getting stuck associated with us, because we're so derogatory to it. That is YouTube in a nutshell, my friend. Mike Roche Media, how are you? It's been a while. Hope all is well. Great to see you. Great to see you.
Yeah, Kwandi Bab's question. So is it okay to set your videos as kids friendly or not? So once again, you can do that. Just know that you're going to be losing a lot of things on your YouTube channel if you are putting them as made for kids. So if you do go and put your video or channel as made for kids, you're going to be losing personal advertising. Comment section is going to be gone for that video. Donate button is going to be on. Branding watermark is going to be on. Live chat disabled. Live donation, end screens, info cards, super chats, playback, save to playlist, merch shelves, memberships, all of that is going to be gone if you put it made for kids for that specific video, or if you mark it as a whole channel, the whole channel. So you can do it, just know what you're losing with it. So just the information. Now, if it is made for kids and it falls under all of the reasons why you should mark it as made for kids and you don't, you most likely will be penalized by YouTube with the guideline community strikes and or FTC with the fines up to $42,500 per video. So you gotta really be honest with yourself and mark it as it is, not trying to avoid it or get out of it in any way. So once again, I think the most safe way of doing it is to blanket the channel altogether, unless you know right away that, okay, my channel is for kids, then you know what you're doing. But if you don't know, I would really suggest to go into your channel settings first, and those are available only on your YouTube Studio Beta. Only on your YouTube Studio Beta. Change the advanced settings for your whole channel as not made for kids, and then go back into your videos and change them individually if you think that certain videos might still fall under this guideline.
There you go, guys. There's the steps on how to do it right there for your channel. How animators will be affected. See, this is the thing, guys. There's so much gray area in all this, and that's what we're debating on whether the second part goes through. I'm sure it is. I don't work for YouTube. I'm sure it is. I don't see them not going through with animators that do stuff that's more based on adult content, yeah, but there's always that trick into it. What is considered, you know, what kids would be interested into, and what is the lure of them coming in. If it's animating directly to kids, like, you know, specifically, you know, for lack of a better term, layman's terms, happy bunny type stuff and all that, you're definitely towards kids. You got to mark it right away. But yes, anime and stuff like that, there's a huge gray area, for instance, because you don't know. Lots of young people are into it the same as older ones. That's what we were saying a while ago, but like Disney channels here, even though they're grown adults that enjoy it as collectors, Funko Pops, Matchbox cars, I mean, the list goes on and on. We know tons of channels that do all these collectibles. Unfortunately, they're still also fall like it. Grimes Finds, who we were talking with a while ago, who does storage units. What happens when he gets a locker full of Barbie collectibles and all that stuff like that? Lots of adults are most likely going to be buying it, but they still have to probably be diligent and put it as marked as geared towards children, because kids go after Barbies, kids go after all these things. So it's just a bigger, grayer area. That's what it is. And there's the second part, guys. There's also there's where you go for your video by video as you're going through where you're going to be setting it. So the first one we showed was for the channel itself. This one is for the video by video.
So just to specify once again, if you lose partial monetization, comments, and other perks of the YouTube channel if you mark a video made for kids.
There's a listing of them right there.
You lose all monetization for the video if you mark it restricted for age. And nothing changes if it falls in the middle. So there's 3 options right there available for you. Once again, I remind you to all of you that it does apply to all of you, and these changes of your audience settings must be changed for each and every channel, no matter where you are, if you are monetized or not. No matter how many subscribers you have, you must do these audience setting changes, or YouTube will penalize you starting January 1st. So we do still have time.
Scott's Thought Channel. I want to address this one. So set it to no. Set the channel is not made for kids. I never upload content that's made for kids, correct. Yes, set it to there, but now I'm going to bring up, you remember the video I was talking about the other night with you and your son? That's going to have to set more to kids to be safe. Because your son was with you the whole time through it, and that can be seen as something of interest to kids because he was there. He didn't just walk by and say, hey, Dad, on his way out. He was a part of the video from beginning to end. That's gonna stuff like that. You're gonna have to mark to be, especially be really safe. But that is already far into the into the not the gray, but getting close to the actual rule itself. So you would have to most likely mark that one and any other ones where he's predominantly into it as content for kids. Because there's a child, your son's in there, other kids can gravitate, come in to see him because they want, you know, they have natural attraction to other youth their age or, you know, within a couple of years. So welcome to the YouTube world on that one. The new YouTube world, I should say.
Yeah, so once again, it doesn't matter if your primary audience is based on children or not, you do fall under this. Just because your channel is not for kids doesn't mean that you don't fall under it. You've got to be very, very careful with this.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, YouTube wants our target viewers to be ages 14 to 18. Well, yes and no. I mean, just because it's over 18 doesn't mean it. Over 18 have to be marked only the ones that are like restricted. So if there is any violence, if there is alcohol, any sexual innuendos, that are more graphic and things like that, then it has to be marked as over 18. But other than that, it doesn't. So if you don't mark it as over 18 and it's not made for kids, then you're fine. Now, the different thing is going to be if the FTC decides to add the new clause about targeted for kids, yeah.
Which I think is coming. I would start preparing myself in advance for that one because I do see a good chance of that coming in. That's my personal opinion on that one. My main viewers are 45 to 65, Grindfine says. Here is a good point. This is a very good point because a lot of ours as well. That doesn't mean that you don't get kids. It doesn't matter who your viewership is. It means that that video has the potential to attract kids in or not. It won't take into account in any shape or form your demographic. It will only look at the video itself, the content of it, and could this be an attraction for young people, for children?
Now, under the rules that are stating now, for example, right now, this video, okay, obviously it's not geared for kids. It's not age restricted. We do have kids in the chat though. So under the ruling as it is now, we're fine. If they add the new clause, then we would have to mark this video too, because we have kids in the chat. But under the new ruling, we are fine. Although we do have kids in the chat, this is not targeted as kids, not made for kids, and it is not age restricted. So we're fine.
Premier Hell.
Just example.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just example.
And when most all kids love video games, exactly. I think this is a great way for them to knock off a ton of the big guys that are doing video game on here. I think you're going to be seeing them move over more. You can still do adult sides of it and stuff like that. I would be terrified of the gray area that comes with that one. Even though if you're playing games that are age restricted, by their marking already with the I forget the name of the system that's used, the National Reserve one. Nonetheless, I think that's going to be a nightmare times 1,000.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like gaming channels are gonna fall under this a lot. Video games, things like that. Cartoon channels, lots of that is gonna fall under this as well. Gaming community have already tried to talk about that as well, but we'll see how it changes. Ketchup is Pius Marsev. I have kids, but I really don't want that video to be recommended for kids. It says once marked for kids, it will be recommended for kids. Now everything is recommended for everybody, so it only says that what it means by it, that it's not going to be recommended to anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I don't know even how to explain it. Just because you're not marking it doesn't mean the kids don't see it. If you are marking it that it's not made for kids, then they're not gonna see it.
That's right.
There you go.
Blue collar fishing. I know grown men now that play video games 30 hours a week. Now Call of Duty ain't made for kids games have adult only ratings. See, none of that has any concern with it. That's exactly it though. It's still gonna most likely just paint it with a brush and say young people like video games. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And unless they do decide to make a big difference with it, but I'd be very surprised. So you're going to have to mark a lot of them as adult content onto it to try and save yourself onto it. And I think it's going to sicken a lot of gamers on here. I really do. I really, really do. So I take my kids completely out of the videos and do family vacation videos. Will I still be in trouble saying family-friendly vacations?
No. Now, if majority of your content is including kids in your videos, then it is made for kids. If majority of your content in the video doesn't have kids in it, then you're fine.
But I just want to mark as a note, like family friendly used to be a really great search term on here, and it's actually become pretty much at this point a no. You want to try and avoid it because most times that gets your comments removed in your video anyways, and that already since the last changes months ago. It's not the draw that it used to be. It actually puts more of a target on your back for channels, just as I know, because that was a big thing to put into tags, big thing to put in descriptions, etc. It's not the golden nugget that it used to be. It really isn't. It actually gets more bad eyes on you from YouTube. Low roller scratcher. Kids would not be able to do anything on YouTube. Poor kids. But like I said, they're gonna have they have kids, YouTube kids. If they were doing all this and moving it over there properly to finally say there, now it's segregated. The kids have their ones. If they stumble onto this one, it's at their own doing. YouTube is not liable anymore, and you could do what you need to do. I mean, they still have rules. You can't turn it into like porn, but I mean, could do more like legitimized content here with less restrictions. I'd be all for this. I think it's a fantastic idea. There you go. YouTube has cleared its hands in the eyes of the FTC ruling that they offer YouTube kids. They've done everything to discourage things promoting entertainment for children on their main channel. They've pushed it all over there. They've done their part. Game on. I would love it. I think that would be the best thing ever happened. That would have been the perfect answer to all of it. But we're not there. Instead, we're sanitizing this channel and this platform completely to comply with it. So that's where I think the big problem is with it. I just got done signing the petition and commenting on the FTC site for the COPPA ruling. Excellent, Eileen. Very, very, very well done. What about the animated character I use to narrate my stories, my content? I try to keep equal to middle ground between PG-13 and R.
Yeah, it mentions animated characters. Low roller scratcher, I agree. Obviously, there are kids that are going to be creating fake accounts. Exactly. And like I said at the beginning of this live stream, they have determined that most of the kids watching YouTube do have accounts that either they use their parents' accounts or the accounts with fake ages on them. Up to 87% of 8 to 16-year-olds are using YouTube with fake accounts. Yep. So definitely, they can't be completely eliminated. Now, really, by every means, they should have marketed their YouTube Kids more right from the beginning, so people would be more used to using it for kids.
And they should have been enforcing earlier on, to get more of the content that was geared towards kids over there. And the time, and I bring up the Bradburys, but they're just one of them, when that whole thing about, like I say, Spider-Man crapping on Elsa and all that stuff, if they had to put a heavy foot down on it back then, we probably wouldn't be where we are today. I do believe that very much so. YouTube all of a sudden exploded once the monetizations came through, and they got caught with their pants down. They've been playing catch up ever since, and us as creators are constantly having to adapt as they dig themselves out of one hole. Actually, we're the ones mostly digging. Yes, they got fined $130 million. That's business for them. For us, we're the ones shouldering the burden of it now. $42,500 fine for one of us is like them getting hit with $1.5 billion fine, a $3 billion fine, $10 billion fine.
Creator Spotlight Show is asking about Ghana. Yeah, well, she does animations. Unfortunately, animations fall under this ruling. Yep. Animations and animated characters. So, yes. Yep. I know, this is heartbreaking. There's going to be tons of people that are going to be losing their revenue. And once again, now, I want to say too, you don't have to delete your videos or your channel because of this. You just have to know what to do with each video or what to do with your channel, how to approach it. That's why we always talk about being on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, Reddit, Discord, wherever you are, because if you are a kids channel, you do get this limited monetization. You do basically get reduced your promotion features to minimum on YouTube. You got to use other options to do it. Share it on social media wherever you can. Do a newsletter, monetize yourself on Patreon. Do a merch shelf. There are other ways to do it. Yes, it's going to be harder, but you can still do it. Now, you think that other platforms are going to be better? No, because COPPA applies to all internet. YouTube is the first one to fall under it directly, but COPPA applies to all internet platforms. Mm-hmm. Like I said, TikTok is the next in a date. I forget which is the date now, but you can actually go to FTC and see it. TikTok is the next one. that is going to be directly targeted, although it will apply to everyone. So even if you decide to jump off of this platform, well, sooner or later, it's going to catch up with you anyway. So this is just a new reality, unfortunately.
But I still figure they're going to jump for the time being. You're still going to see them lose. There's someone that leave this behind. That's why a while ago, and I do believe that you're going to see some major ones make the jump. I think they're getting to the point where they're getting enough bigger YouTubers on here, especially the gaming side. You're going to see something like DLive become like a membership under private category where you got to join to be a viewer by showing a credit card and register, and then they're going to be able to do what they want on there within, normal limits. That's where I think the future of it is going. I really do. That you're going to have to, as a viewer, register with a credit card, because then they'll say that they have so many with the pay, and every kid has access to their parents. They know that already. They're going to say that. They'll register a viewer, and then there you go. We've verified that they're all 18 or over. Come on over to ours, and we can just go on like we used to. Game on. Charge a membership.
Yeah, definitely. And and not knowing the rules doesn't, get you out of trouble, so to say. It's the same as everything else. We talked about that yesterday, actually. Andrew talked about that you're here, you got to read the rules. You're here. How many of people actually have read community guidelines or copyright guidelines or Creator Academy? Like, how many really? Like, just not knowing it doesn't get you away from the trouble of getting a strike. You have to keep up on these things, and we try to help you as much as possible. Obviously, there are lots of resources out there. You can keep up on these things, and sometimes it gets overwhelming. Like, these last 2 weeks have been crazy with YouTube. There are so many changing coming up in all different levels of it's like they finally woke up and decided to change everything before New Year's come. And it's hard to keep up. It is very frustrating, even for somebody like us that we try to be on top of the things every day. It's still very confusing sometimes.
Welcome, Computer Chick, by the way. It's great to meet you. YouTube, you need a credit card now.
For what?
Yeah, I'm curious what was going to create content.
No. You can verify with a phone number.
Yep.
If you want verification. YouTube needs us creators build this platform. We will build another one if this nonsense keeps up. Yes, but we still have the biggest audience here on YouTube because just how historically have become. I do wonder though what is going to happen in general, because YouTube in general is going to lose a lot of revenue next year. And I wonder what is their gonna step be afterwards to get that revenue back, because like I said, it's approximately 20 billion in revenue they're gonna get by the end of this year. Now next year that's gonna change because 90% is gonna lose their ad revenue, which means also YouTube is gonna lose their revenue. So that is gonna be a huge change in both ways. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of changes.
YouTube Premium, you do only if you're Red member. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
For YouTube Red Premium, yes, for sure. Yeah, YouTube will be the new MySpace for video platform. People will switch alternatives. They're definitely going to mix around. They are kind of. It's going to be taking hits. There's no way I don't see it. So 9 people watching in the. Is the biggest audience? No, I've had bigger than that before. Welcome, Howard. I'm not sure where the credit card comes in. My son has a YouTube account. To verify his account and keeps his account, I had to verify as an adult with a credit card, or they are going to delete it. We have our accounts, and we're not using any credit cards for any of it.
Yeah. Usually, unless you want to buy premium features, or you want to buy Super Chat, I would double check with your son.
Yeah. That's what I'm starting to worry about.
Our son, I would double check with your son. You don't need a credit card to verify your account. Just yet.
I actually think it's a good idea, but yeah, I do.
YouTube sent me an email. Well, I'm not sure. Unless something changed.
I'm starting to get a little concerned, to be perfectly honest.
Me too.
Check that email, by the way, and see where it was originally come from. Make sure to check the full email address onto it and stuff, because there has been some things going around and stuff like that. I don't know. This one's catching us out of the blue, but yeah. They were going to delete his account.
That sounds like a scam that was sending everywhere. There's been lots of recent email scams going around pretending that they come from YouTube when they don't, and then they grab your information. So I would go back and check exactly what was it, and if you did give them your information, change your password on your bank accounts and all of that. So it's definitely an issue if you haven't replied to them.
Calm down, please. Please be respectful in here, or we're going to have to remove you. We're talking normally. Thank you very much. So.
Okay, well, if you think it's not a scam, that's fine with us. We're just saying on our opinion that sounds to us a lot like that. Yeah, Scott, exactly. How are you looking? What is this tubes all the kids are talking about? Ketchup ASMR, will it be because YouTube realized he's underage and whatever? Might be.
Professor Perseverance, I got that email also says.
Like I said, YouTube is not deleting your account for the providing of your bank account or bank card for that. Not yet, at least. So if you're getting anything like that, and once again, it looks exactly like statement from YouTube. It's not.
Yep.
Just please be careful. So.
Bearded Picker, how are you, my friend? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Great to see you. Great to see you. Okay, well, like we can't debate because we don't have the information on it. None of us have through credit cards on ours. So see, Professor Perseverance deleted that message. So we can't debate it and say it wholeheartedly because none of us are set up with credit cards on to validate our channel. We don't have that information onto it, so we'll just don't want to discuss it in here until we find out. Just anybody gets anything from YouTube asking for information, then always double check. And this is to everybody. We always say this. Just double check where it came from. Jack Knight Finnegan, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Such a pleasure to see you. You okay, hon? Yeah, my eyes are watery. Oh. Xenia has got watery eyes at the second, guys. She'll be right back. Well, someone is at my door saying they are from YouTube. They're kicking in my door. Help. Oh, my God, Howard. Oh, my God almighty. You guys are crazy. Would this affect picking channels as they can open the boxes and have the toys in them? Yeah, anything that would have like I said, think of it this way. If your kid passes and says, holding in their doll, and walks by and says hi to everybody while you're doing a stream or something like that. It's not about the child. It's all that happened to walk by. You're pretty good. God forbid at this point, at least. But if your child is a part of it or toys are a part of it like that, all those things then aren't considered as elements that would draw kids in. And especially if the second part comes in, that's really going to. But if it's the focus of it, you're doing your thumbnail about it, and the video is primarily about it, yes, you have to set it up as it's geared towards kids because children will find this inviting. Do you think those channels who have YouTube Red will be treated nicer? No, because this is all falling on the creators. That's the thing about it. It's all falling on the backs of the creators. I'm back from Starbucks with my 7 shots of espresso. Wow, there you go, Wah. That's the way to do it. That is nitro in the veins for sure. So did you select no, not made for kids for your channel as well, Andrew? Yeah, not made for kids for us, yes. But then we got to go back and check some of our videos and make sure that we don't have any, that where the kids were predominant into them, because there's a few when we're out on the road and stuff like that. We're going to have to change all those as geared to kids. Philip Cochran, more wifey. Always more wifey.
Yeah, back. It's probably from looking at the lights and screen. I've got watery eyes. I apologize.
I have YouTube Red and I'm treated like crap.
Well, thank you for being here. We definitely get more revenue from you.
Yes, exactly. You're helping us a lot, actually.
Yeah, you actually get a higher CPR rate from YouTube Red viewers.
She's doing better rustic angel designs. Thank you so much for asking. She was very excited with all the snow. We got about close to 10 inches this morning.
So much snow. Mm-hmm. That was beautiful. Beautiful morning, by the way. It did got a little bit windy and stuff later on, but it was beautiful in the morning.
Beautiful when you don't have to do stuff in it. Like you do lots. Oh my God, that sounds bad. I didn't mean it that way. I meant you didn't have to do a lot outside.
It's all good. No, I do enjoy shoveling time to time. I don't have to because Andrew does it and our son does it, but I do enjoy doing it sometimes.
Scott's channel, and as well too, like where you do your kids' books and stuff like that. That stuff, because that's featuring right on kids. Like all that stuff's going to be handled as well. That's going to all have to be put in there. I got different email accounts, and I got my scam emails in my emails that YouTube won't send to exactly. So I know immediately it's not from YouTube, but the scammers are exactly. That's just so smart. Thank you all for all that you do. Thank you for answering my question earlier too. I have to head out. Have a good night. Marlon Music channel, it is always a pleasure. Thank you so very much. And guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please do, as it helps out immensely. It really does. Not made for kids and 18 over. I have done, will be very...
Yeah, you have to look at your certain videos. Like
Yeah.
I said, blanket it over for now and then look at your videos separately. Blue Collar Fishing says that I expect extra special attention from here on out. Time to start getting what I pay for around here as a red subscriber. Well, YouTube Premium, yeah. In YouTube's video, they define kids as someone younger than 13. Does this mean if your content isn't for kids, people over 13 can still watch? Well, we did talk about it, SMT mainline. Like, it doesn't matter if your videos are targeted directly for kids or not. It matters what the content is, and if the majority of that content is falling under those new guidelines. And if it is, even if it is not directly targeted at kids, you still have to mark it as made for kids. A channel I'm subscribed to lost her channel to a hacker when she clicked a link from YouTube support. Oh, yes. We talked about that a lot, and we have had numerous channels contacting us trying to get their channels back. So please be careful. Once again, we did talk about it a couple of times. You can find it in our new playlist about YouTube breaking news and tips. It's all there.
I have thumbnails that have a skeleton animation sitting on a toilet for paranormal scary stories. Should I change that? There is no animation in the video, though.
Well,
it depends how kiddish
Yeah.
it looks. Like, that's where the context can come in. Like a while ago, we were talking about animations. Right now, at this point, if it's a very serious adult theme-oriented animation, you get more leeway than if it's something fuzzy bunnies and stuff like that. And if it looks very clip artish, something that would draw children in, or has the possibility of drawing children in, yeah, you might want to change it.
if you are a paranormal channel, we did talk about the new guidelines that fell into the place in September. So if you're not aware of those, this is probably something you should be watching. Just put the link in the chat, and those are actually including paranormal channels. Just put the link in the chat.
D-Croc says, I just changed a few videos of mine that I have my kids in them to 4 kids just to be safe. It's better to be safe. Honestly, at this point, especially till it gets sorted out and see where this lands.
Yeah.
And the sad part is wherever it lands, it's still going to be so gray. There's never going to be a fixed answer if it's a pass or not. So what age do they consider kids to be kids? 13 and under, or 18? I think we just had answered that, rolling with the reads.
Yeah, 13 and under, and whatever it is in your state or country. So definitely 13 and under, and if it is different, then it goes by the highest one.
Still Winter Nation, short stream today. Push Studios, nice. Now we're actually on the way longer than we were supposed. This was only supposed to be 2 hours altogether, but there's so many questions. We got bombarded today as soon as that new video come out. Questions, so we had to change at the last minute. It was supposed to be our Tech Talk Tuesday, which at this point it looks like it's going to probably be going into tomorrow, but we'll give an update. There's a link I found on Google support about age verification, and it's a legitimate request, an email. The top reply says,
Really?
can you send that? Can you DM us that or something, Premier L? Or you can put the link in here. Would be wise for me to just put on all my food and tasting videos as geared towards kids, just to be on the safe side. It's a call. It is a call. Yeah, I know. Be late at 3 hours. It's crazy. It wasn't supposed to be this way. Have set mine to not for kids. We'll see if YouTube changes them. At least I will know then. Yeah, if you've already done it though, it's pretty much set there already. Thank you for all your advice, guys. D-Crack, you don't have to do that, my friend. It's always a pleasure having you in here, and thank you so very much for the ton of support you show us as well. It is hugely appreciated. There we go. Google, YouTube.
And Diana, you have to be in your YouTube studio, the new YouTube studio. That's the only way how you can access it.
Oh, you got yours open? Yeah, 'cause I'm
What do you think about how they will determine my channel? Nothing is for kids, but the whole branding is made by Ghana. Well, it doesn't matter who is made by. Your channel content is what matters. So I'm sure that way it's fine.
Here you go, Diana. Hang on, I'll just play the video. So there you go. Once you're in, this is for the channel. This is to set all your videos here. So this is a short video showing what to do.
Premier Hell is it is not opening for me.
You can't get. Yeah, I keep getting. Sorry, this page can't be found.
I'm not sure. What about John Winters? I'm pretty sure you're gonna be fine with that. Thank you so much, Heavy Metal Magnet, for tweeting it out and for spreading the information. We can still talk with FTC about all this and how it affects us.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
an opening for anybody here. I know what we do on here has been challenged the last couple of days, so there's lots of fun stuff going on in YouTube for sure. There you go. So that's what I'm getting. I just hit the refresh again. It's refreshing.
See, and then like age requirements are different in different countries too. So if you are in Europe, for example, that's going to be different, and if you are in North America, it's different. So that's why definitely, if you are outside of US, it still applies to you, but you got to check what is the requirement of the age for the country that you're in.
Someone mentioned putting a disclaimer, like only
No.
disclaimers, guys. I'm going to turn this off. This is important. Disclaimers about that, about using copyright material, about, under Article 746, whatever they put. A disclaimer means absolutely nothing in YouTube land. Nothing. In any shape or form, no matter what reason, it means nothing. It has zero weight. None. So I just want to stress that out, because you still see that in about sections, or in a video where they've copied a bunch of other stuff and they go like under the article copyright. It has no bearing whatsoever. It doesn't immune you of anything. It doesn't save you. and I appreciate it. I know sometimes when I answer these, I sound like going after. I'm saying that in general because that's something that comes up a lot, and that's why I really want to get it through so everybody hears that. And there is no immunity. No warning, no nothing that will save you from that. It will just, you're either in violation of something on YouTube or you're not. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
you found it, Diana? That's awesome.
Yeah, and the only way how you can put a disclaimer, there's only one reason why, is if you're doing some kind of experiment and it has to be under adult supervision or in the supervision of the professional. That's what you write in your description. And that's the only reason when actually a disclaimer works for YouTube. All the other ones, might as well not write them. So yeah, it's just a false protection that is not existent there.
There's no security into it whatsoever for yourself.
Now you might wonder, where do we get all of this information? And maybe all of what they are saying is just whole BS. We do read a lot of information in an article, not only based on YouTube itself. They have multiple sources of information that we have mentioned before that you can go and look for yourself and find all of that information if you have time and you want to, as well as side sources of people researching and doing surveys and statistics on all of that as well. So this is researched for you, so you don't have to do the homework. Just remember that you are responsible for your channel, so no matter what you hear here or anywhere else, it is you who is responsible for your channel. So if you're not sure about something, research that, ask a question. You can always ask questions. and research it so you know what you are doing. Good bites, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Thank you so much. Good bites, thank you so much for that super sticker, super chat.
There you go. You got it out of your system. You feel good now?
Yeah.
I think she was busting at the seams for that one. What about kids not working with bees or on cooking channels? Kids, see, that's where that stuff all starts to fall into play even more. You know, there's opportunities for problems there. You have to say that for kids, but under the old, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, but with kids too. What says with bees, they don't start to look at it as dangerous and stuff like that. You know, that's what I was telling you earlier tonight about all these new rules coming out in so much gray area with all of them. What happens when they all start clustering over each other?
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about common sense, disclaimers that we do in real life. We're talking about the ones that actually apply to YouTube rules.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you can disclaim whatever you want there, but we're talking about, is it gonna help you if you break the rules? You know, just because you put a disclaimer, it's not gonna not get you a strike, so to say, if they detect it. That's what it is about. Other than that, put them all if you want. What we're saying, it is about YouTube we're talking about. How do we mark each video that might be geared towards kids in YouTube Studio? Well, when you open the video, there should be a pop-up that actually prompts you to do it, or you can actually mark when you go to your dashboard and you check mark the video. You can batch process the video or do it separately for the age requirements or age restrictions for that. Again, YouTube Studio Beta is the only way how to do it. Thank you so much, and no problem. We're still trying to go through the details, all of that ourselves as well. We were keeping an eye on it since we first talked about on our Adpocalypse 2020 video, almost 3 months ago now. Kept an eye on it, did some research as well. We definitely, the same as you guys, weren't expecting the changes today. They were only supposed to come in January, but you never know. You're going to be awake here on YouTube.
Roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches.
But guys, it is our time to go. Thank you so very much for everything. We'll be on tomorrow night, guys, 7 p.m. Eastern. What are we doing? Well, we'll let you know on that one. Definitely all the documentation will be available after the live stream is over. Come back and check it out. And if you guys can come back and really leave an on-topic comment, that helps us out immensely. I suppose a channel like mine will get comic books and cards. Yeah, you know.
Could be.
Yeah.
Once again, you have to look at your content yourself. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. The last one for heavy metal magnet. You rock. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just...
All the information is going to be available in the description below in the links once the video is uploaded, if not tomorrow morning at the latest. Yesterday, if you joined us on debunking Markiplier's YouTuber drama, we did talk about that yesterday. Can you still use emojis in your live streams? Yes, you can. And lots of other things. Yesterday, we talked about that. And now all the information, the sources where we got our information from, is actually in the description of the video. There are links now available for you too. So if you want to go back and check those out, to reference them or just to know for sure, you can always go back to that. And if you missed that was quite a conversation yesterday about Markiplier, but also about what we can and cannot do in our live streams.
Alrighty, guys, you take care of yourselves. Much love to you all, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Be well, and stay in the know, guys. Read up onto it. It's only you that benefits the most.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment, guys. It helps immensely. Take care. See you soon.